hola, boa noite. Look at that. Impeccable timing, Mrs. M. No, don't go now. We're about to start. Oh, and she's cool as a cucumber, that lady.
Just trying to get my hair back sorted.
Yeah, me too. Look at mine.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a while to get my hair back sorted, isn't it? But there you go. Good evening, everybody. Hola, boa noite from Portugal. Feelgood Portugal show here, 10 o'clock every Saturday night on YouTube. Very good of you to be here with us. We're just taking it easy as we do on a Saturday evening. Endeavouring, as the name suggests, of the show to feel good on a Saturday night. And I think we've organised and sorted out our technical difficulties of last week, but I'm sure you'll be the first to tell us that if we're not.
Yeah.
I trust you can hear us. Some testing, 1, 2. Is this thing on, or is that bad news? No, you were hearing the music, weren't you? You were hearing the jazzy intro music, which I suspect will get us a copyright strike on YouTube, but I'll deal with that in due course. So many lovely people from our community here tonight. Osama was here very early on at 1:15. Well, I'm liking your heavy breathing.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. You carry on. Others might be liking it too. 9:15. Osama Semsem was there saying, can I ask something, please? Also at 17 minutes past 9. Then, well, come on. Can I ask something? And I saw that and said, go on, Osama, please do. We are actually live till 10 p.m. And then nothing from Osama. Must have got fed up.
What a tease.
Just take a ticket and sit down, and we'll get to you in due course, as I did when I was getting my wet fish this morning at the San Martino de Porto market. It was beautiful. I have a new family tradition. Is it a tradition if we've only done it 3 times? A tradition in the making.
Yeah.
Of going to San Martino de Porto market and then going for a cup of coffee, and the kids buying comics and stuff like that, like kids used to do back in the day. So there's a nice start for the evening.
We actually had ice creams as well, didn't we?
We did. We were celebrating Boaz. Parabéns. Many happy returns to you, and thank you for the ice cream celebration. The Milky Bars were on Boaz earlier on. So there's a few memories: Milky Bars, comics, jumpers for goalposts. Let us know. Oh, there's a bit of that earth crackle. Did you hear that? Yes. We need to ask Andrew Gilchrist about that. Okay, and Antti Seppänen is here, the famous Formula 1 racing driver. Did you know about Antti Seppänen?
Nope.
Joins us tonight. A name from the man cave. We used to love it when Antti Seppänen joined us. My friend told me, says Antti, that he hates corruption and bureaucracy here. Here being Portugal, presumably. And more awkward news about Portugal as I share with you the OECD Better Life Index. And Portugal doesn't score very well in that. And I have been educated and schooled in not being a Pollyanna all the time. And I know this is Feelgood Portugal. And I share this because, and I'll go into it in greater detail, because I think it's something as expats we can probably contribute to make it better. But Maxine is here to respond to Antti. Yes, maybe. But if you're running away from the snow, there is always a price to pay. Wasn't it Gandalf who said that originally?
I have no idea.
If you're running away from the snow, there is always a price to pay.
Well, you better get some snowshoes, because we are going to have a snowy holiday.
Ooh.
The kids are demanding it.
You're organising us so much. I'm like enjoying a kind of dotage style residency here on the Silver Coast, and you're making me travel every weekend and go chase after the snow.
Chase after the sun.
Yeah, we did that today, though, didn't we? It was a lovely day in the bay today.
It was beautiful.
For the 6th of November, it wasn't too shabby, I can tell you. Might even be able to find you a picture of it a little bit later on. Excuse me, coughing on you like that. Antti Seppänen, sure. I think the recognition there that you kind of, you have to take the rough with the smooth, don't you? And I think in world, despite all the claims of bureaucracy and corruption in Portugal, I think it ranks fairly low on such indices. And so we will be looking at indices, particularly the OECD one, which I really was quite shocked about. And we'll go into it. And yes, talking of Gandalf's and words of wisdom like that, which that really does sound like, doesn't it? If you're running away from the snow, there's always a price to pay.
I'm going to look it up for you so you know.
I think Antti Seppänen comes from a snowy country.
Okay.
So, and the question is whether to come to Portugal or not.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was Gandalf. But I have been doing the Growing Old Disgracefully Grey Watch program with Coach Turner. soon to be a Hollywood movie like Coach Carter, but it's going to be a mixture of Baywatch and Coach Carter. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? And one of the questions I want to ask tonight, as well as looking at the OECD Better Living Index position for Portugal, is this whole thing about growing old disgracefully. Something occurred to me earlier on. I don't hear of many old folks saying, so people, we're getting older, a few of us. Well, all of us are getting older, in fact, aren't we? Everyone in the world is getting older, newsflash. But some people are feeling it more than others. So you get to 50 plus and you're an expat and you think, oh, I love all this red wine and, good food and pastel de natas. I maybe need to take better care of myself in a way that I didn't when I was younger. And so the Growing Old Disgracefully program is there for people who don't want to become complete, joyless vegans, or
that's a rather unfair stereotype.
I'm not saying all vegans are joyless. No, that is a kind of vegan. We know these people, don't we? Who actually don't seem to like life anymore, but just afraid of dying and getting ill. And it's a thing, isn't it? She's looking at me across the desk. Oh,
yes. So when you see me like looking over to this direction, it's because I'm actually looking directly at. I'm giving him a sort of like.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's say there's a spectrum. That person doesn't exist, but metaphorically or indicatively, there is the joyless health. What are they called? Orthorexic. There's the orthorexic person who's afraid to do anything that might cause them harm to their health. And then there are people who don't take care of themselves at all at the other end, aren't they?
Well, there are also people who that was an impatient look at me then, wasn't it? I saw it.
Interrupting me.
No, but there are also people who take really good care of themselves and that do it with joy, who you don't need to call them orthorexic, because isn't the whole idea of orthorexia is that it's become a bit of a problem and a bit of an obsession in such a way that it's causing them harm.
Yeah.
But there are lots of people who actually just absolutely love looking after themselves.
Yeah, I'm not talking about.
And I wouldn't want to take the mickey out of. In fact, I wouldn't want to take the mickey out of any of them.
Who says I am? Who says
Well, it just sounds like you're judging them, really.
Well, I think that is in you. That is what's the distinction here? That's an inference. You've inferred that rather than it being implied by me, I would say. I'm merely making a spectrum, and I was making a point before you so rudely interrupted me anyway.
Okay, sorry. I apologize for interrupting.
There is a spectrum. Where are we? On this side, let's say this side is the orthorexic person who's almost afraid to live or eat anything because of the harm it might cause them. Yeah? Yeah.
Afraid to live?
Look, it's not a real person. Are you feeling got at here?
I am actually.
Oh, okay,
because
so
over the years, you've
this is it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Go on. Carry on with your.
Not you.
Slagging off of my tendencies.
Person here who thinks every mouthful they eat are thinking, oh, I hope this isn't going to do me mortal harm.
Actually, that's what I was like as a smoker.
Every puff you're thinking, oh, there's another 5 seconds.
Is this the one that's going to kill me?
Is this the one that's going to give me cancer? The thing about smoking is it does take 5 years off your life, but at least it's the last 5.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, so on this side, okay, the person who worries about everything lifestyle-wise, yeah? Not you.
Oh, like looks into the sky and goes, oh my God, they're spraying on us again.
Yeah, that person.
I've been that person. I am that person sometimes.
And has funny things on the desk that stop the...
Well, like these.
that stop the errant rays from affecting the karma.
Is my ring not going to do us any good tonight?
It's going to be counteracted by the Lemurian plug, and that's not what I normally call it. I can tell you. Look, I'm going to come back to this because I'm obviously not going to get anywhere. I
think we should warm up the audience a bit before we go into our
trying my best
marital slapstick.
I was trying my best to make a point.
Okay, go on.
Okay, to cut a long story short.
In a nutshell, Carl.
In a nutshell, people can get concerned about growing older and staying fitter.
Yeah.
But how many old folk, how many aging people do you know who say, do you know what, this year I'm going to do everything I can to get wiser? Whoever said that? Did anyone ever say that? And why don't they? Why don't people say that? It was going to be, after all my preamble, that was going to come as an even bigger mic drop.
And I could do like a sound effect.
In the radio business, we call that a song, not a,
Okay, where did all the sound effects go?
That's one of them.
But that's another song.
Reunification.
Sorry.
She's in especially mischievous mood tonight.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've got a poem as well. We've got all of Warren's songs there.
Fantastic.
And we've got we have a poem from Les, who is a great elder in the Silver Coast community, about the seasons. Okay. I see I'm not getting anywhere trying to articulate myself in an erudite manner with Mrs. M here. Andrew is here. Evening, Munsons.
Hello.
Do you want to do some of these? People have heard a lot of my voice.
They
already,
have,
haven't
they? I like this one. The lighting on Mrs. M looks great. You look beautiful, Elle. Carl, you look red.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
To be fair,
my lighting is such that I can give you a little shadow puppet theatre show as well. Look. A little birdie is pecking my nose. I've got all the worst. I've got the.
Thank you, Michael. It's because
it's after 10 o'clock. I've got the arse end of the technology on this side of the desk, haven't I? And I set it up like this.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get another ring light. That's all we need, and
so it light should be my okay. Ring appropriately for you, Michael.
Yes, and I'm also wearing makeup, whereas Carl isn't. But thank you very much, Michael.
Occasion.
I really appreciate that.
Could you not jump around the comments because we missed them that way? I'm known in the business for including everybody. You're somebody who just picks the ones that make you look good, obviously, like that one.
No, it was right in front of me. Okay, right. I'm gonna go right back to
this one. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that one after.
Okay. We got a lot of welcomes tonight.
No, you haven't done that one.
We have got a lot of nice
good
people.
evening to you.
Jeannie, very nice of you to join us. I noticed earlier on you said you liked the music as well. So I'm glad that jazzy tune was good for you. Mac 007, hello, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Jean,
Jean's here as well.
Yes, a different Jean. So Jeannie and Jean. You know what? That's one of my favorite songs, Jeannie. Boa noite a todos, os todos. I still can't pronounce it very well. Maxine, hi Munsons, are you there? Hello.
Portuguese.
Yeah, I need to learn. I need to learn it. Stephen Wells, testing 1, 2. Is this thing on? Sure is. We've got it going now. Deagle, nice of you to come back and join us again.
Have you taken something in your hand and tapped it and said that?
What's that?
Testing. Is this thing on? You don't have to answer that. It's just a throwaway. It was a throwaway comment.
I may well try that later on.
Yes.
Why are we waiting? You're a bit naughty tonight. It's not just me, is it?
Oh, it's an orb in the room.
So, where?
There. Look.
Where?
Incredible.
Okay.
She was really going for it there, wasn't she?
I was actually kind of excited about the thought of an orb. You know, the really strange thing is before I met you, about 2 weeks before I met you, it was around Christmas time, and there was a photo taken of me and Mum, and
I've seen it.
And I was covered in I was covered in something like 25 orbs. And it was really incredible. You know, there's nothing on my mum. It was like I was surrounded by orbs on a photo. Very bizarre.
Cynics would say.
I'm sure they'll have.
No,
I'd love to hear what the cynics say.
I'm thinking of Andrew Gilchrist here, who, like us, probably did try the making popcorn work with mobile phones as well.
We did try that.
We did try that, didn't we?
Didn't work.
And I think it's the refraction of the lenses on a mobile phone camera. But I'm just saying that's what skeptics and cynics might say about the orb phenomenon.
Okay.
Ooh, there's one.
Boa noite. Good evening. I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you very much, Auntie. I love that.
Auntie Seppanen.
Deagle is saying calm down.
Yes.
There's a bit of a love fest going on tonight. Lots of Andy, Steve, you know, people
it's what the man cavers do.
Okay. You know, I actually checked into the man cave last night and was listening in for a very short period of time.
How was it?
Well, they were talking about some kind of new technology, and there was a picture of some car, and they were all doing this kind of, it was almost like
dogging meeting.
I wanted to say a something fest, you know, W blank blank K fest over male technology.
You might as well just say it.
It just sounded like, I didn't understand
man
anything
cave.
that they
The
were
clue
talking
is in
about.
the
Well,
word
yeah.
man.
I mean, I was working on the computer under your profile, thinking it was
A
mine.
lot of people say that when they're listening to the man cave, Andy, don't they? Oh, I was just happened to have the computer on, and whilst I was eavesdropping in on the man cave, they're used to that.
I didn't eavesdrop for long because it went straight over my head.
Hydrogen technology was of no interest.
They were talking about cells, and they're either setting up some kind of man cave.
Soft cell.
There was no 80s music.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Hard
kind
sell.
of drifted off. It wasn't a hard sell.
Okay. So
anyway,
not hard cell, not soft cell, not padded cell. What other cells are
there?
Well,
they could have been making some kind of terrorist cell. A sort of like.
Hopefully not. Again, another thing that will get us taken off Google and YouTube.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
very
Sorry,
much
I won't say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Evening, Carl and Louisa from a chilly Belfast, 6 degrees. We're hoping to get hot weather from the south next week, 14 to 16 degrees. It's a dry St. Martin summer. You know what? Yes. I was speaking to a friend in Canada last night who is thinking of moving over to Portugal to set up a permaculture project, and he was talking to me about coming to Queenborough and saying, I don't think I can go any further south than that because it's going to be over 30 degrees.
Interesting, yeah. No, really? I'm not being sarcastic.
It sounded like you're being sarcastic.
No.
And I was like, well, hang on a second. It gets way hotter than 30 degrees. And I was trying to find evidence of it on the internet. And on the internet, it just says like the average temperature in July and like August and September is something like 26, 28 degrees. And I couldn't work it out because I know full well, like we've been driving around and seeing on the pharmacy, it's like 34 degrees, 38 degrees and whatnot. And I just realized it's the average temperature throughout the day, but it gets much hotter than that in Queenborough.
I thought so.
Yeah. I mean, let us know. How hot do you think it gets? Like relative heat?
Yeah.
What's the hottest temperature you get in Queenborough? I really want to know. I'm a bit kind of put out by that. Anyway, Deagle, I think you're going to have a really nice time when you come here. It's lovely and warm. Like today we went out and we were basically on the beach for a couple of hours, just having a great time. Beautiful sunny weather. I mean, last week it was a bit of a dog. It rained all weekend.
Yes, because he wanted to have a birthday party on the beach, and it wasn't going to happen. But I've actually got some nice photos. I think I'll try and find one of the beach today.
But even when it was raining, it was still quite warm.
Yeah.
So...
Actually, while we're on that subject, up in Barra tonight, our friends the Brodies have.
That's a lovely picture.
Have given me this to share this evening, and that is it Barra or Barrow? Barra, isn't it? Up there near Costanova. Now,
it's basically just Aveiro, isn't it?
It is. It's the two beaches, the Atlantic beaches. Well, what other beaches are there apart from river beaches? But it's the two beaches of Aveiro and Costanova and Barrow just up the road. And Barrow is well known for the shaft you can see to the right of D there. Our friend D is the red and white lighthouse. That is a famous landmark at Barrow there. So thank you very much for that, Mike and Dee. What a beautiful evening.
Yeah, it's lovely to see Dee on the screen.
Isn't that great? And any other sunsets that you want to share if you've captured a nice sunset this evening. But a lot of our American friends, of course, are still midday, around the midday mark, aren't they? Or tea time.
Let's bring them in, shall we? So we've got Steve, Andy, and all, the sort of like
Man cavers.
We've got Suzanne saying, okay, Pittsburgh checking in.
Pittsburgh.
What time is it where you are, Suzanne? I'm really curious to know. Stephen Wells saying, oh, yeah, good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Munson. We've got a good evening from Jim and Mandy.
Hey, Jim and Mandy.
Thanks for joining us again. Brilliant. Jim! Close to Ock last night. Oh, close to 0 degrees last night. Wowzers, that is cold. It's not anything like that here. You'll be very happy when you come over. Jeannie saying, can't be as bad as here.
Really?
Really?
Our friends are struggling, aren't they, around the world by the sound of it?
Good morning after midnight here. Where are you calling us? Where are you joining us from, Susan?
We're going to let it all hang out.
You must be the other side of us.
Yeah.
So what are you, India?
Well, Suzanne was saying that. No, did you say Suzanne then?
Susan.
Oh, Susan.
Susan Cosola.
Susan Cosola. Yes. I have you down as being up north, northern Europe, Susan. But do let us know.
Definitely Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
You know, because there's
going
a 2
towards the
hour
east, of course. Yes.
2 hour
Yeah.
difference.
We're not prying, by the way. But,
We're just very curious.
yeah. Well, we are a bit.
Andrew saying try checking the mic cable and the connectors as a first thing. Okay,
Check
that's
the
for
mic.
you.
Check.
Tamara is saying good evening. Feeling good this Friday evening. Isn't it Saturday today?
Yeah. I mean, they're really behind.
Oh, I'm so happy my new city, Lisbon. So
You've lost a day tomorrow. It's gonna be such a good time. Time was just
Tamara, what are you
you've
on?
let go of
I love
time.
it. Thank you for
I
joining
like
us.
that as well.
You know what? When I've travelled,
Unless we're wrong.
yeah, I mean, and that's the
Did
funny
the
thing.
clocks go back a day?
The funny
It's
thing
just
is,
for a year.
when you said that, I actually thought, have I made a mistake? Because I always like doubt myself and think,
We've
Angru.
talked about that.
Yeah. Maxine is saying, verão, like, is that summer?
I'm not going to answer that.
It is, isn't it?
'Cause I don't think it's one of those it's one of those terrible moments where I really should know that.
Okay, all right.
And I don't.
Let us know what you're saying, Maxine.
Verão,
Today and
I
tomorrow.
think
It's
that
like summer, isn't it? In San Martino.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I'm confused because I think it is summer, but I will find out. Actually, while you're finding out, I think which is what you're doing now. I
Yeah.
do have a picture from the beach today. Of
Summer. Yes, I got it right.
San Martino, but it
Have
throws you, doesn't
faith,
it? When
have
it's when, yeah,
faith.
exactly. When it's out of context, it just throws you verão. So
Stephen's saying he'll be telling them to turn it off and on again next.
yes,
Isn't
he
it?
will.
Yes,
probably.
and that's not a bad idea.
There we go.
So that was our shot from today.
Isn't
It
that
was
beautiful?
absolutely
That's
beautiful.
what the beach was looking at San Martino de Porto. Very comfortable, and we're getting that effect now in Portugal, where it's cold in the mornings and cold in the evening. I've been out with the dogs tonight. It's chilly, but when that sun comes up, it's so true. What's been said? It's the cold country with the hot sun. So
I was a bit worried about our lettuces and all our
Yes, you
rocket that I've been growing, trying to like catch a third season. But they're surviving so far, and we're doing a bit of a caterpillar study at Casa de Munson with the kids. We've got a couple of
kids, 3 kids. Oh, caterpillar.
I was going to say chrysalises or
Yes.
chrysali. I don't know. Pupae.
Yes.
And we've got a couple of different caterpillar species going on in the same pot, sort of analysing them. I just hope it doesn't get too cold for them.
Pupae sounds like almost a James Bond movie, doesn't it?
Pupae on the
Pupae.
spinach.
Goldeneye, Pupae.
Is Auntie a film director? That's Andrew asking.
Auntie Seppanen has got such a good name.
It's an awesome name. Is that a real name? Just checking, because people have these really cool sort of like alter egos, don't they?
I see. It might be
YouTube.
No, I think it with the umlauts or similar on the A there. I think Seppanen maybe that is. But when Auntie Seppanen used to come on to the man cave, we would always say, like in a Murray Walker style, and coming in on the home straight, it's Auntie Seppanen. It sounds like a Formula One racing driver.
I was going to say it sounds like Lee Evans. Or,
You're not a big fan of F1, are you?
Sorry, no. Simon Wright, Simon and Fiona are joining us.
Hello, good evening.
Hello. Very nice of you to join us once again. Andrew Gilchrist, don't turn it off. Not yet. Rugby Colin, getting older is making me less patient. I thought having more time would make me relax more.
Well, we need to know more about that.
Yes, we do.
And that was a filthy video you sent me earlier on today. Rugby Colin. Do you know what I showed you? Man doing press-ups in the garden.
Oh, I thought that was really great. I thought it was very funny.
And joined by his dog, and not in a good way. He was pretty good at the press-ups before the dog came and joined in. And we won't be doing that in the Growing Old Disgracefully program. So you're not getting wiser then, Rugby Colin, as you get older. And this is the prayer, isn't it? Lord, make me wiser, make me more patient and wise. It doesn't sound like it's happening there at Ericeira. Why is that? And what do you intend to do about it, if anything, Colin, with that? And
is his name Colin?
Yeah.
Rugby Colin. I wasn't sure if he's got a really...
Colin?
No, I thought his name was like, it could be like Rugby Colin.
My name's John, but I call myself Rugby Colin.
No. Well, it might be French. You never know.
Je m'appelle Rugby Colin.
Yeah, it could be like Rugby Hill or something like that, Crikey, we've got a son called Digby, that people might go,
so he might be.
Is that your real name?
So that Frenchman, Rugby Colin, is joining us tonight from Paris.
I just have
fun. Rugby Colin, what? you're getting less patient, and you thought having more time would make you relax more. So
That's
how
interesting.
is what gives with that? Is it when you lived a busy life, maybe working full time, you didn't have time to relax, so you didn't relax? But no, but it's not. You're not maybe a very relaxed or relaxing person. I don't know. What do you think is going on with that, Colin? Because I think that's fascinating, and it in some way addresses my earlier point. As we get older, does anybody say, please, how do I become wiser? How do I train to become wiser as I get older? I mean, we love that in older folks, don't we? We do love wisdom, but not many people ask for it. Why is it always outsourced to other people? What's that about?
I always ask for it. I love a bit of wisdom. I'm curious about this because so I'm guessing you've just retired or have changed the pace of your life, so that you've got more time and you've got the chance to relax more. One thing I noticed when I used to work for a tour operator was that people got ill when they're on holiday. Like when they suddenly, they're sort of like, if you think about going away on a package deal or something, you're working at breakneck speed in the like 3 to 4 days leading up to it. You go crazy, or your wife does, or whatever, preparing, and you've got all the stress of it, and you get on holiday and there's nothing to do, and all of a sudden the body just comes to a pause. And I think it's actually quite normal for your body to to like you've got this space where if you could be ill, you are ill. So I would meaningfully and helpfully suggest that you try and do a few bits so that your body doesn't go and then you get really ill.
Keep busy. I mean,
because keep purposely busy,
yes.
and in such a way that it's not too much of a distraction, but that you don't like completely flake out and do nothing. Because we kind of joked about it, actually. I mean I was 20 years younger, but it was a kind of phenomenon that we noticed with package deals. If people get ill, they get ill on holiday because they're finally relaxing.
Like
so
teachers.
Yeah, like anyone that
teachers often get ill in the first week of their holidays, don't they? Because they haven't got time to be ill before that. Yeah,
we have to almost schedule it, don't we? And it's really hard to relax. And I'm not wishing illness on you, by the way, but just hearing that made me go, ooh.
Saying that's made me forget what I was going to say now. Oh no, being the Portuguese word for retired is reformado. Reformed, not
That's
retired.
Nice.
So you are reformed in retirement here in Portugal, which brings a new kind of slant on things, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's better than the LEG.
Retarded. That was a great and unfortunate joke he made, but on tour in America as Borat, right? But yes, that's fascinating, and maybe one shouldn't slow down to an almost standstill in retirement. It's too big a change, isn't it? It's too big a change. No, but why? There's wisdom. That's many questions should be answered like that.
No, but why?
No, but why?
And what is that in reference to? Is it the one
director.
like, are you on IMDb? Are you a film director? Is that your real name?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Andy Gilchrist knows of Sepainen. If you give us a phonetic pronunciation of your name, Auntie, we will get it right from now on. I don't worry about death, but dying scares the life out of me. Don's always good for a one-liner. And a bit like Woody Allen, I suppose. I told you I was ill. Or
I told you I was dying.
That's on the tombstones. What he said, I'm not scared of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens, I think. There's that comment from Michael Bliss. Thank you for that. And when you've said that, I've got. Can you take your screen share off, because I want to share something. Which
sure.
You've got a screen. There's some YouTube channel there or something.
Oh yeah, it's mine. Just in case you want to.
Could you please subscribe to Louisa? She's nearly got 100 people, haven't you?
I have actually gone over 500 now. Go on, it's all yours.
Amazing. Okay. Oh, it's all mine. As in, you're going now, are you?
No, you can. Hello. Look, do you want to say hello to everybody?
Go to bed. Go to
Look, it
bed.
Looks like he hasn't got a body because of the green screen.
Looks like he needs a wash.
It does,
quite frankly.
Hello, my little angel. Oh, there's all of them here.
Oh, come on. This is Mummy and Daddy's special time. Oh, my goodness. And another one. Okay,
Oh,
that
no.
that early
Stay out,
bath
come
and getting him into bed early really worked very well, didn't it? Oh, there's the earthing problem. I'll tell you. That was so good. I think you can hear me now, can't you? No sound. So if I think, yeah, what happened was um, when we had when we can't hear you sing. I'm sure his wife would enjoy this version of him. Yay! Okay, so I think we're back now. Okay, little lesson learned there. I can't. We have to just have an empty screen of Mrs. M. So I'm gonna put her on the right hand side there, and she'll be back soon. She'll be back soon. And all that stuff I said about Lee Bowery, you only got to see the pictures, which is probably just as well. Okay, and I think Pete Bleach will remember Lee Bowery. Do you remember Lee Bowery? Okay, so let's go back. Before I talk to you about the OECD thing, and obviously I can't put myself on the screen without Mrs. M being here. Invaded by the little M's, absolutely right. Go to bed. And I think Pete agreeing with the old illness thing for teachers there. Okay, let's scroll back. David Bowie, Jean and Jeannie here tonight, of course. Okay, un abrazo Tuga, the Matosinhos tonight from Carlos Ribeiro. Hey, Carlos, you might be interested in this OECD thing I'm going to be talking about in just a moment. Not OCD, OECD. I didn't know what that stood for. I knew it was some sort of, economic watchdog type organization. It's actually the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And the shock I've discovered looking at Portugal's, what would it be called, analysis, is that it says, this is the beginning. So I'll come back to this after we've said hello to everybody properly. Portugal performs well in only few measures of well-being relative to most other countries in the Better Life Index. I mean, shock horror reading that. And Portuguese people rated them lower actually than a lot of other countries did. So I do want to find out what's at the bottom of that, and I do think we need to address it, discuss it in some way. Auntie Sebanon, I was idly looking at movies online and caught your name as having film credits. I see on IMDb. Not me, different one. Okay, I was dead for billions and billions of years before I was alive, and it never bothered me. There you go. Nice one, Gene. A Samuel Clemens quote, right? I guess, yeah. What dies, the body does, right? Life goes on. Easy to say. When I decided to cut down on my wine consumption, my new rule was you can only drink wine when in company. It's a good rule. Dogs don't count for this rule. Excellent, Maxine. Michael Bliss agreed, was just thinking Mrs. M looks lovely. She does. It was true. I get the pleasure of looking across at her when she's back in the chair over there, the empty chair at the moment. I wonder if folks who are engaged in some sort of spiritual journey are trying to get wiser. You'd hope so, wouldn't you, Jim? But I don't often hear that. as a motivation or as a claim. You know, next year I'm going to endeavour to be wiser. It's funny, isn't it? Do people not want to say that? Is it a kind of conceit, maybe, to suggest something like that? But this is the place where we can talk about it, right? Are you going, says Michael, for the angel and the devil? Was it? Yeah, I suppose we didn't mean to, but it's looking a lot like that. And we needed a run of comments, didn't we? So we could go Genie and Bowie there. Men love a bit of tech. Yes, it's true, isn't it? And that's what you guys, I think, were talking about last night. Lol, I got Good Friday mixed up with Feelgood Portugal. Oh, I see. Out since lunch and a little tired. No, fair enough tomorrow. No harm done. I thought we'd gone back a day, like the clocks went back an hour. I thought we'd gone back a day. There's some new directive from the government. Hola, I hope all is well. Orbs, I've been having a sleepy Saturday and I just tuned in. Great to have you here, Nubianette. We were talking new electric cell tech. Okay, so tonight, I'm partial to the occasional Alex Belfield video, often in shock and horror. But I watch it because I watch him because I think he's quite very interesting entertainer, and somebody with that big a YouTube audience is worth a look to see what they do and how they do it. But one of his he's a sensationalist, no question about that, and he dragged up a story about how, and this has been obviously wheeled out for the COP26 thing, the electric vehicles, and stand by, don't shoot the messenger. But a study that he was quoting, electric vehicles 70% more harmful to the environment than those cars, presumably, that they're trying to replace. What angle would that have been, everybody? Let's not get our knickers in a twist about it. Let's have a look at it in a calm and rational way. Why would somebody be saying that? Or why would an organization be saying that? Evening, guys. Carl, you look a bit younger tonight. Yes, the old face fungus has gone. And with Andy and with Francis from the morning show, we're having a little bit of a Movember tash growing event. Any suggestions for tash shapes, sizes, styles, very welcome. And thank you, Jean, for yours. You might want to put a link into that in the comments. 2 votes for Clark Gable, which I think is a high maintenance tash, I have to say, at the moment. The clean shave suits you, Carl. Do you think so? I just keep thinking I look like a big baby, or Lee Bowery, which is what I was trying to say when my mic was muted. 2:33 on the West Coast. My goodness. For Jonesy there, West Coast of America or West Coast of Australia, 2:33 in the morning. 3:22 in California. Well, that's the West Coast, isn't it? I'm confused now. But hello, Carlos and Lisa. Good evening to you. And orbs could be explained as subatomic charged particles that orbit around a person. Okay, Andrew, I thought you might be more sort of prosaic and technical, skeptical possibly with orbs. But do you think they're captured by cameras? Interesting. Okay. Jones is all over the place. 3:22 p.m. Okay, I'm thinking West Coast of America, right? Back out in February 2022, says Deagle, hoping for high mid-teens, as Belfast in February will be 5 degrees, I think, and anything up to 8 at night. Yeah, I'm not surprised there. Looking forward to a bit of Portuguese weather. Here in Pittsburgh, Suzanne, thank you for your comments as well on the video when I shaved my face. Here in Pittsburgh, 6:22 p.m. So getting on for evening there. You may have a sunset then, Suzanne, to share. Do send it in. I have a banner. Look at this, pics and voice messages. We can do that as well. I think that might have to be Mrs. M on the other side of the desk playing any voice messages, but I can certainly manage pictures if you want to send any pictures in tonight. The one we had earlier on was very beautiful. I think you'll agree. This is Barra, up at one of the Aveiro beaches. Isn't that lovely there? Our dear friend D, seeing the sunset there. A bit chilly up in Aveiro, I think, at the moment. Okay, so 6:23 in Pittsburgh. Wintry, Nubianet says, wintry 17 here in Northern California. And Carlos Lima. Hello, Carlos. Good evening, beautiful people. Hello to you. Good to see you on Thursday. Tamara, how much do you love Lisboa? Out of 10. Come on, Tamara. And we've had frost early mornings this week. Horrible, pretty though. Yes, of course. And Andy sent me a picture of the ice on his bonnet, on his hood. earlier this week. It's a bit chilly in the UK as well, a bit of frost there. Still in Finland, was checking airfares tonight, but would still rather drive. Okay, got my studded tyres on, so guess we'll have to wait. Wow, so driving down from Finland, amazing. Clock's going back, just a reminder to you, clock's going back an hour in the USA tonight. Does Portugal reset last week? So there's a week when it's a little bit easier to catch the Good Morning Portugal show. Still not easy, but easier, I believe. But yeah, we basically have a week's difference, don't we? The Portuguese and the United States. So it's tonight for you, last week for us. Quickest flight is 7 hours. Yuck. Oh, from Finland. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. And yeah, Andy letting you know there, Z Trader that we changed last week. So blue and beautiful. I'm so envious. That was my San Martino de Porto picture from today. Look at that. I was just dwell on that for a moment. Now, I was imagining myself part of the Growing Old Disgracefully and chatting to our new Bezzy mate in San Martino de Porto, Boas, about starting a paddleboarding club activity. I mean, it's not going to be a great bay. There's not a lot of wash from boats. There's not a lot of Atlantic tidal action going on there. Great place to paddleboard. And so maybe we should start a distinguished gentleman's paddleboarding club. Anyone up for that? That explains the 5 hour difference now. Okay, yeah, the week difference of the time change for you, Z Trader. I think you're quite new to what we do, right, Z Trader? Have you tuned in before? And yeah, lots of greetings going around the room. Great to see that. Yes, Simon, Fiona, a hello to you from Andy as well. If you go on a Club 1830 holiday, you will catch all sorts. Thank you for that tourism tip there. I mean, some people would see that as a good thing, wouldn't they? Not necessarily a bad thing there. Most male teachers die within a year of retirement. Why is that, Pete? Is it the sudden change? And that is a startling statistic, isn't it? Which, if you're a deep sea diver, you don't go from the bottom of the ocean. Well, no one goes from the bottom of the ocean today. No one gets to the bottom of the ocean in its deepest. But you don't go from deep water to shallow water without causing yourself injury. Do you think the same is true? And have we not realized this about retirement as well? That it should be a gradual process rather than just, okay, on Monday I stop doing everything. That is a bit silly, isn't it? That's risky. So Colin's coming back, or Rugby Colin. Having stopped our luxury bed and breakfast 4 years ago, when, like you say, I had no time. Now I have all the time in the world. Yeah, that's drastic. That's a drastic change. But I expect those that are working to be more efficient. Oh, okay. So you're retired and you're looking at the working people not meeting your needs as ably or efficiently as they might. So that's doing your head in. And that's why you're impatient. I'm building a picture now, Colin. I'd rather have a full bottle in front of me than a full frontal lobotomy. Yes, good. Lots of great quotes tonight. That sounds like a Woody Allen. What sweet babies. Well, thank you, Jeannie. They really should be asleep. They are asleep. Well, they should be asleep just across the hallway from us here, allowing me and Mrs. M. But they're nothing like asleep at the moment. And I got an eye line across there as well. But our plan tonight, scuppered. So Mrs. M, I don't like that phrase, but people do say this, don't they? Just putting the baby down. Like, yeah, don't say that. Yeah, she's just getting them to sleep, and she should be back soon. Okay, can't hear you. This is when it all went horribly wrong, isn't it? Can't hear you. No sound. Invaded by the little M's. Yeah, you could have thought that they trod on a cable, right, and killed the sound, but it was me. It was my own inefficiency there. Andrew, that was way deeper a comment than it should have been. From Bian Taylor tonight. Hello. How are you? We've seen you before, haven't we, Bian? I think. Are you meditating? Not again. No. And often, yes. The terrible tech problems happen, don't they, Nubianet, when I'm trying to share some meditations on screen. He won't see you, says Jeannie, until they scroll down here. Like, yes, muted, no sound, 5 minutes if silence. While he gets through the comments. And thank you for playing some music for me, Andrew. Who's going to? Yeah, you've got a lot of you got my WhatsApp number. You could have sent me a WhatsApp message. And let me just check WhatsApp. You're mute, no sound, Carl. Your moustache goal. Can't hear you when Louisa went out with the children. Oh, you're such good pals, you really. But I got to look at this Andy. Oh, okay, that's a good one. The Andy Gilchrist. Is that for you or for me, Andy? That one. I'll put that up on the screen in just a moment. Awesome. Come back to that. Yeah, meditation. Did you enjoy? Did you take advantage of the situation when it went quiet and go deep into yourselves? I wonder. Raphael's here, finding that amusing. Not your average. We're seeing a lot of you, Raphael, and I'm glad of it. Some of his best work again. Yeah. I'm going to start noting comments for context since the conversation rolls so quickly. It's true, Jeannie. No sound. Having to shout now because there's no sound. Anyone fancy subtitling? I thought I was going to read that as subtitling at first. I'm sure his wife would enjoy this version of him. Is that with me like Lee Bowery or actually being shut up? So she can't hear me. No sound. You're so good to me, aren't you? Look, woo, he's back. And then we go. We're back in the room. Yay. No sound when the children went out. Yeah, thank you for that. It's back. It's back. Yes, we can hear you now. Oh, thank goodness for that. Okay. Maxine. It's called Varal de San Martino every year. There are a couple of days around 2 weeks in November that are usually warm. People count on it, although the dates vary. Oh, okay. I just need to cough. Hold on. And I don't think I can mute myself. Maybe this will work. Did that work? Because this JBL headset is pretty good. And it makes a little pinging sound. And I think it kills the mic. So maybe you could let me know if you could hear me cough or not. The greatest hits, is that when you couldn't hear me? Okay, so the Varal, the summer, the San Martino summer, I didn't realize you could almost, guess it would happen or know it would happen in November. Because like I said, we were hoping to have a birthday weekend last weekend. And that would have been perfect to have a day like we had today. So it does happen. It can happen for 2 weeks in November, everybody. Thank you, Maxine, for this. This is really good. And of course, it's not San Martino because of San Martino de Porto, isn't it? It's St. Martin. It's the time of St. Martin when the chestnuts get roasted. And you might enjoy a couple of weeks of spring-like weather. Very good. Good to know. Good to know. Yes, and then we got the Brasso Tuga from Carlos there. Thank you. The OECD is still defined by a lot of OCD. So what's your thought on that? Let's have a look. Let's have a drill down into this OECD thing in a minute. But what are you thinking? The Portuguese OECD would skyrocket if you replaced them in the UK. Okay. Are we finally going to talk about Bitcoin now? Come on and talk about Bitcoin. You can have the number. You can call in and talk about Bitcoin. By all means, say what you want to say in the comments, if you will, or record a message and we'll play that for you. Okay. Where were we in the comments now? Talking a bit Bitcoin. Shiba Inu. Have you made a link there, or did you just want me to read something out? You dirty doge. Oh yeah, I see what you did there, Bian. Very good. No sound. I think it's back now, isn't it? Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So do we assume from that, Carlos, of Carlos and Lisa, or Lisa of Carlos and Lisa, that we get wiser anyway? I mean, I think the prognosis for a lot of people, what a lot of people fear is that it's becoming, having dementia or Alzheimer's in old age, and not being a clear thinking, wisdom person of wisdom, wise one, owl, sage. Okay, anti-seponym, A as in A and phonetic, others as written. So is it anti-supinum then? I think. I would probably think it was wages in Portugal. It's so hard to earn enough relying on the local economy. Okay, we'll have a look at those in a minute. Portugal is still in the dream stage for us as Jeannie, but I look forward to seeing a movie in the theatre again, or shopping in public without feeling compelled to know each exit or hiding spot. How terrifying is that, Jeannie? Is that where it's at for you? My goodness. Carl, I got my son Bart to buy me Memrise today. How good is that? Did my 15 minutes not on Memrise, flicking through it. Hope to join the GMP forum to post my progress. Do Deagle. It's very easy, actually, I've discovered. Half the country quite literally hates the other half. You're talking about the US now, of course, aren't you? But enough of that. I want to hear all the reasons to love Portugal. Well, I'm afraid it might not be what you want to hear right now, Jeannie. Jeannie, this must be a North EU problem. I'm literally surrounded by love in Braga, even as a foreigner, says Bian. And the mining of raw materials from manufacturing batteries is one of the downsides for EVs. So we've got a few threads running here. Handlebar, Tash, or bust. Okay, Raphael, is that what you're sporting there in your picture? Carl, you will have to see our channel in a few weeks. We have reasonably fast car that runs purely from the sun with no environmental impact and no emissions other than initial production. Okay, and scrapping presumably as well there, Pete, but I'm not knocking it. I just wonder what that was all about, the 70% more harmful thing that came up. Too cloudy for a sunset tonight, says Suzanne. Okay, never mind. We'll get you next time. Chris Robinson is here, everybody. Good evening from Germany. Recently got my car serviced, winter tyres fitted, and hoping to drive down to the Lisbon area in early December for a few weeks to look around. Give us a shout, Chris, when you're in the country. We can help you, I'm sure, at Expats Portugal. Z-Trader, yes, moving next year, getting ready to apply for a D7. I hope what I'm going to tell you from the OECD doesn't put you off. Let me guess. The Seth is blocking your joy. Good on you for already studying the language, by the way. Good going to Jeannie there. We haven't done a deep dive into the process. I'm reading comments to each other. These aren't for public consumption necessarily, just an overview of visa types. Okay, looks like you're on it, Jeannie, there. And geez, I'm stopping lecturing at the end of the academic year. I said, and I think that's a response to Pete's comment there. Pete, please talk to Andy how to manage that transition then. I don't aspire to achieve wisdom, says Susan. Hopefully it comes naturally. Just try to learn from past mistakes but why don't we purposefully seek wisdom, Susan? I think a lot of people are like you, and I'm not knocking it. It's you hope it comes naturally. We don't go after it, do we? Interestingly, retirement allows long walks, meditation, and making plans. You sound pretty wise to me. Simon Bradshaw is here. Hi, Carl and Louisa. I wonder if you can help. I'm hoping to retire in Portugal, grow old disgracefully, and drink lots of wine, but worried about new restrictions purchasing a property. Is that golden visa restrictions? I know of no others, Simon. Give us a shout or just email me if you want to talk about that out of here in a different environment, carl@expatsportugal.com. Any advice? Thanks. Cheers to you, sold. Okay, so I'll come back to the comments because I do want to share this thing about the OECD with you, which surprised me. And I will read a little bit and then come back to your comments as we do and rinse and repeat and see what you're making of it and mix and match with comments and a little bit of background from this OECD thing. So let's begin. Here we are, the OECD Better Life Index. .org countries, and then we can do a comparison, and I've set it up with a comparison to the United States. Okay, and this is this is how the Portuguese people rate themselves in this regard. Okay, so population of 10.3 million. This is interesting, isn't it? 7.7 million visitors every year, presumably not in the last couple of years, but on a good year. And I should have checked when this was done. Somebody else might like to do that while I'm reading through it. But renewable energy marker, 21.2%. Pretty much what? 80% of your house, Peter Bleach. How's life? Asked this survey, okay? Portugal performs well in only few measures of well-being relative to most other countries in the Better Life Index. Portugal ranks above average in housing, work-life balance, personal security, and environmental quality, but below average in income and wealth, health status, social connections, civic engagement, really? Education and skills, subjective well-being, another one I'm struggling to understand, and jobs and earnings. These rankings are based on available selected data, as you would expect. Money, they say, while it cannot buy happiness, is an important means to achieving higher living standards. In Portugal, the average household net adjusted disposable income per capita is $21,203 a year, lower than the OECD average of $33,604 a year, and that's the average. There is, I wonder what it is in the United States. Probably a lot higher, right? There must be an upside to all that work you do over there, you Americans. There is a considerable gap between the richest and poorest. The top 20% of the population earn nearly 6 times as much as the bottom 20%. Now, didn't Plato or Socrates had a guide, didn't they? That in ancient Greece, that differential shouldn't be big because it caused trouble. They knew that then. But that's interesting, isn't it, about Portugal? The top 20% of the population earn nearly 6 times as much as the bottom 20%, which I wouldn't expect, but the rich are becoming super rich, aren't they, all over the world? So that might explain it. In terms of employment, 68% of people aged 15 to 64 in Portugal have a paid job. Is that good? In line with the OECD average of 68. Okay, so they're average. Some 71% of men are in paid work compared with 65% of women. In Portugal, some 8% of employees work very long hours. And this does go back to what you were saying, Pete. The low wages here, generally speaking, unless you're in the top 20%, less than the OECD average of 11%, with 11% of men working very long hours compared with 6% of women. Okay. Good education and skills are important requisites for finding a job. In Portugal, 48% of adults aged 25 to 64 have completed upper secondary education. Okay. So I'll put this link in the comments so that you can look at this at your leisure. In terms of health, life expectancy at birth in Portugal is 81 years, 1 year above the OECD average. Life expectancy for women is 84, compared with 78 for men. The level of atmospheric PM 2.5, what is that? Tiny air pollutant particles small enough to enter and cause damage to the lungs is 10.1 micrograms per cubic meter. That's a bit too much of a deep dive for us here right now, but as I said, I'll put the link in the comments for you. Concerning the public sphere, there is moderate sense of community and level of civic participation in Portugal. Now, I do find that hard to believe because I see this as a very involved country civically, socially. I don't get that, but this is the thing that really upset me actually. In general, the Portuguese, this is the final paragraph. In Portugal, the Portuguese are less satisfied with their lives than the OECD average. When asked to rate their general satisfaction with life on a scale from 0 to 10, Portuguese people gave it a 5.4 grade on average, one of the lowest scores in the OECD, where the average life satisfaction is 6.5. I thought it would be higher, honestly. And I'll come back to these comparisons with the United States. I can do other comparisons if you wish me to, okay? And they make for interesting viewing there. But what are you saying about this in the comments? Let's just take that off there for a moment. Still an empty chair from Mrs. M there. I'm actually not new here. I've been watching you for months, Carl. I'm Dutch. I know your name, and I think you might have watched shows previously, earlier on, right? So I'm Dutch and my wife is Chinese, and we're planning to start our farm business in Portugal. You have helped us a lot. We are, excellent. So you're clients. Forgive me if I've mixed you up. Mike's still live when you tilt it. Okay, thank you. So you heard the coughing. Forgive me. The little ping there. It's so old school. It's actually a little spring inside this that makes a little click when you lift up the mic boom there. Okay, all right. So back to this OECD stuff and your comments incoming at the moment. Oh my goodness, and not quite a lot of them. Verão de San Martino, maybe Indian summer. Yeah, I think that's how I understood it. In the US, there same. It's a phrase that's used in the UK as well. Does it have 3 wheels? This is Rodney Trotter electric vehicle there. In the northeastern US, it's called an Indian summer. Yeah, there you go. And it's warm, dry period after the early autumn frost. But is it normally in November? I think that's what Maxine was saying. It's often in November that it happens here, around the time of the San Martino festivities for St. Martin, not San Martino de Porto. Of course, the bay is named after San Martino, but this is a general phenomenon for Portugal. Hold on a minute. So I'm reading your private comments here. Bitcoin is all fine and dandy, but not where the fun gains are to be found in the crypto space. There's a little cheeky grin there from Raphael, not your average globetrotter, who can probably be a bit of a not very average globetrotter on account of their excellent dabbling in the non-Bitcoin cryptos, perhaps. Tell us more, Raphael, if you will. In Germany, the same period of autumnal warmth is called the Alt-Vibe Sommer, the old woman summer. Isn't it interesting how the different cultures have got a different explanation for this? Indian summer, old woman summer, and St. Martin's summer so far tonight. I've heard of that, Andy, Shiba Inu, and a new and secure decentralized meme token. There you go. What an amazingly educated an unusual and brilliant audience we have here tonight. I'll have to look that up later. Come to think of it, probably no longer possible to say Indian summer. You can't say nothing these days. You can't say that. I don't think that's in any way derogatory, is it? It doesn't. I mean, in origin, isn't that like it's an Indian summer because it's hot, and isn't it a fact that it's quite warm? Actually, it's not, is it? It's not warm all over India. So there you go. There's a stereotyping of a kind. So maybe you can't say that anymore. I don't know. No, not in that pick. I've had one in the past, though. A lot of work and a lot of wax. You've put me off there. Okay, I'm not reading the ats, and I'm so sorry I can't read this name. I wouldn't know where to begin in pronouncing your name, but hi back to you, right back at you there. And let's have a look. I'm avoiding the ats. I'm avoiding the ats. Visited the Algarve again for 10 days, Auntie says. Back home a week ago, but now it feels like it never happened. Yeah, it's like that, isn't it? You've got your photos, you've got your memories, Auntie. Do you think people take the time to read about Portugal's politics and have a full understanding of the situation in Portugal before giving up their home country and betting it all on Portugal? No, they don't. And this is part of the conversation we might have here, isn't it, with this OECD finding here. I think when people come to Portugal, they are coming as economic migrants to make their money go further. We have fairly modest means, and we live a better standard of life than I think we would in the UK. And I would put us down as, high, not economic migrants in the sense that, people escaping poverty, but certainly affording a better standard of life and not how we would like to live ideally in the UK. Our money goes further and there's a much better quality of life. But I didn't for one moment study the politics of Portugal in making that decision. I just got a sense of how life could be for us here. And that said, I mean, Portugal's politics, although the Portuguese, as people do in every country of the world, moan about their politics. And there's an election coming up, of course, on the 30th of January of next year. The parliament's been dissolved after talk of such. It has been confirmed, I believe, that there will be an election, a general election, not a presidential one. The House, if you like, will be voted for on the 30th of January next year. But I really don't. I have a sense of what's going on, and I asked Portuguese people about it. But I see a lot of mirrors of what's going on in the rest of the world. But it does depost. It does feel a lot less bothersome, and what's the word? Not as polarized, not as difficult as it is in some other countries at the moment. Moderate's the word I was looking for. But to answer your question, I don't think people do take the time to read. Do they? I mean, tell me. There's a lot of people here in the condition of wanting to come to Portugal. Are you researching the politics? Is what I've told you tonight a bit of an education in that department? Not entirely to do with politics, is it? It's to do with economics and sociological insight and first-hand testimony of the Portuguese people themselves and how they feel about their country. That was what was of interest to me. So it's not an expat view. It is very much, a Portuguese people's view. But how many did they ask? I don't know. I don't know what the background is and what the context is. And this might be done I didn't check. It might have been done in 1972. Wisdom. I gave up cigs, drinks, and the other thing. Worst 20 minutes of my life. Well, hey! Is that Dave Allen? Hold on a minute. At Carl said, Jeannie. Income inequality, also a big problem here with the cost of living varying greatly region to region. Of course it is, isn't it? Mandy, I feel you, Tom Murphy. BM, particulate matter. Okay. Is that a cryptocurrency that's doing the rounds at the moment? Warren is here. We should play one of Warren's tunes. Benoit, there are some real characters here, including the moderator. Lol, very enjoyable. Hey, Warren. I think we will play one of your numbers. Have you found anything to rhyme with Algarve yet? I think your best suggestion for the Algarve is like, do it in the Algarve, right? 21,000 US in the Bay is a monthly income for most here due to high living expenses. What? Is that right? 21 grand a month? in the Bay. I mean, a lot of people are just not even earning that in a year in Portugal, right? That's incredible. Is that right? I heard your cough, but it's not very loud. Thank you, thank you for that, Maxine. That's nice to know. Capricorn 12 is here as well. Capricorn 12 is in the room, in fact. Feelgood Portugal. I know that the minute I pick up my hire car at the airport, my stress levels drop through the floor. Lowered my stress levels by becoming a gumper too. Yeah, a good morning, Portugal community person. I think it's sticking, isn't it? The gumper thing. So yes, Suzanne, end of October to mid-November is when you might expect old woman summer if you're in Germany, a San Martino summer if you're in Portugal, and an Indian summer, if we're still allowed to say that, in UK or US. I like your website. Helpful for my relocation to Portugal, says Z Trader. Need to talk with Anna about renting and also attorney for NHR. You know where we are, Z Trader. Happy to help. Carl, what an occasionally brilliant audience we have. I didn't say it like that, Andy, did I? I hope I didn't. What an occasionally brilliant audience we have. You know, I don't mean it badly, if that's what I said. Everything is politically incorrect in the US now. Well, maybe yes. And, you know, you can when things are so polar and extreme, you're going to expect the pendulum to be swinging back anytime soon. I'd like to dabble in some crypto. I would stick with my physical assets and precious metal. Is that your body, your physical assets? Is that what you trade in, Simon Wright, along with your precious? So that conjures up a picture of you naked, covered in precious metal. You know, gold, covered in gold, silver, and platinum. You and your physical assets there. I'm sure that's not what you mean. Been to Lisbon a few times, Carlos and Lisa. Is that Carlos or is it Lisa? In December, and was always chilly, which I like, but wondering how much cooler it would be in Porto. It would be cooler. It would certainly be cooler in Porto. You're right. Carl, can I vote? Can you vote in the election? I can't. I will be able to. I can vote in the locals if I register as a with residency, which I have. But I can't vote in the nationals until I become a citizen after 5 years. That's as I understand it. Can't go wrong with a variety of investment portfolios. Indeed, spread your risk. Paper money devalues with inflation, so not good. Just stashing it for any length of time. I mean, Bitcoin is looking good, got to be said at the moment. And did I hear right that you can use your Bitcoin assets to buy more Bitcoin now? There is a company doing that. I thought that was a rather splendid idea. Not that is financial advice, anybody. I'm not suggesting you do it. I've just heard that that's what you can do. It sounded like a good idea to me. I worked in the Bay Area from 97 to 2002. Rentals for studios were 3,000 and up. Extraordinary, isn't it? Warren, just do it in the Algarve. Okay, coming to a channel. Oh, you're working on it. Just do it in the Algarve. That's got a nice ring to it. Mrs. M's got, she might have fallen asleep. Anyone's got her WhatsApp number, send her a message and wake her up. Simon is gold member. Bitcoin is the new gold. She over, still okay. I don't know what that means, Square Eyes, but I think you're right about Bitcoin being an amazing asset in the future. And people will be able to borrow on it, won't they? Their Bitcoin asset in the way that they can borrow on real estate at the moment. I think that's how it's looking to me. But what does happen if there's a power cut? Good night, people. Practically just parachuted into your show. What do you mean? You parachuted into the show tonight? Is that what you've been up to today? Very interesting conversation topic. So, Joao F., you're a Portuguese. What do you think of that? Yes, it's the relatively moderate and calm Portuguese body politic that makes Portugal an attractive place to settle. Also, the more moderate cost of living. Okay, so that's good for us expats, but I'm not sure it's very good for the Portuguese people, is it? As we're finding out from that OECD survey. I'm going to go back to that in just a minute after I've read this, which is, yes, Cole, you can use your Bitcoin assets to get more Bitcoins. But I've been in Bitcoin since 2012, and I do not recommend this. Take your time to educate yourself. I'm willing to help educate. Well, we do want to have a Bitcoin group. Are you in our Signal group, Bian? We have a Signal group for crypto, and I can put the link to that in the comments for anybody who might want to join that. Let me spark up Signal now. Obviously, it's not on WhatsApp, is it? Because all you crypto people would have a right old cow about that, wouldn't you? I'm not. I'm a crypto person, privacy person, sovereignty person. I'm not going on WhatsApp. So, yes, Bian messaged me. So I think, look at that. And Square, sorry, I meant Bitcoin is the new gold. Silver still okay. Okay, not she is still okay. I think I'm talking about Mrs. M. So we're gonna put signal up. I'm going to find a way of doing this. Maybe while the seasonal poem is on. I am not in your Signal group, says Bian, and may want to be. So let me just see that. Yeah, I'm not in your Signal group yet, but I'm more than willing to join. Okay, great. Well, I'll sort that out for you, Bian. You can PM me as well, of course. Carl@expatsportugal.com. All right, so back to the old OECD survey. Mrs. M, you all right? And what are they saying here? Let's bring it onto the screen. Let me have a look myself. I'm going to have to blow it up bigger than that. So on the individual topics, and the center of your screen is a column there with more of a sort of infographic type thing. And I'm doing a comparison with the United States. Okay, so for housing, Portuguese people rated themselves at 6.3 in terms of satisfaction, and Americans 8.5. Income, way down there. Okay, to one side Slovenia and above Denmark. So income 2.6, Americans 9. So yeah, the index is out of 10 here presumably, or is it 8.5? I don't know, but you get the gist anyway. You get the gist. So jobs 5.8 for Portugal, America is 8.4. Community. See, this is what I don't get. Quality of your social support network for Portuguese people 4.9. Portuguese friends, family, social groups, associação. To me, the Portuguese people have got it going on in terms of community, and America rates higher than that at 6.3. Education, Portugal 4.6, United States 7. Environment, now that's different. Portugal 7.2, and United States 6.8. Civic engagement, look at that, tiny at 2.5. Civic, would you Americans agree with this? Civic engagement, Americans mark themselves at 7 points. Really? Health, 5.8 for Portugal there. Health in United States, 8.9. That's not health insurance, is it? Or health care, obviously. Life satisfaction, you see, 2.4. I can't believe it. And for life satisfaction for the United States, 7 point. I'm going to look at this, aren't I, in a minute and realize it was done in 1926 or something. Safety. Now, safety, 7.5. And this is the point that you were making, Jeannie, earlier on, right? And in Portugal is 8.3. And that's what we would expect, isn't it? Work-life balance, right down at a 6 for the US and a 7 for Portugal. People do work hard here, though, it has to be said. But I think people have a great family sort of input and community. I think a community input, but this survey does not bear that out. Do we need to have a little bit of a route around here and find out what the general context is here, which I should have done right at the beginning. Okay, and I think, can you rate yourself here? Interestingly, we don't need AVG right now, but there it is. FAQ, responses, topics. So let's have a look. What was this based on? There is more to life than the cold numbers of the GDP and economic statistics. This index allows you to compare well-being across countries based on 11 topics the OECD has identified as essential. This is when we need Kate Gimblett here, isn't it? In the areas of material living conditions and quality of life. But still, even with that in mind, I am struggling to make sense of that. And I think it is 2020 is the dateline for this. Let's have a quick look at the FAQ and see if that can tell us anything else. Recruitment fraud, what? No, that's not what we're talking about, is it? No, I still can't find. What is the point? Yes, let's look that up. What's the point of the Better Life Index? There's been a lot of debate lately on measuring the well-being of societies. Is wealth all that matters? So that's not helping us, is it? OECD was founded in 1961. And which country is number one? So though it hasn't assigned a country, I think Mrs. M is creeping back into the room here. So I don't think I can find out. Maybe someone who is not trying to run a live stream at the moment might be able to tell me. what's happening there. Mrs. M is back in the chair, everybody. When you left and I put only myself on the screen, it muted the mic. And people were saying things like it's some of his best work. Maybe his wife would prefer it like that. You know, the sort of things that the slots say. Okay. So I don't understand that OECD. I really don't. Oh, Jeff Jackson's here. Let's see how we
What have I missed?
You've missed me talking about and sharing my concerns about the OECD survey.
What does it actually stand for?
It stands for the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Sounds like one of those Illuminati things, doesn't it? Just trying to get a rise out of Mrs. M. They're not working so far. She's a little bit sleepy, isn't she?
I've just been breastfeeding for the last however long it's been.
Well,
almost an hour.
No need to get personal.
I've been gone an hour.
Okay. Join us on the Man Cave. Look, Gilchrist is poaching people here for his own purposes. Unbelievable. Especially because this group has been so great for me and my. Well, that's really kind of you, Bian. Yeah, let's get you in a Signal group. Let's get you in the Man Cave as well. We are usually in Europe.
Look, there's Carlos and Lisa.
Isn't that so close to us? I hadn't made that connection. But you're the patterns person, you see.
Yes, I am.
I'm not. Carlos and Lisa, we are usually in Europe in November, December every year, and we always have found a great Thanksgiving meal. Which are the best cities for that, Carlos and Lisa? And is that a restaurant, or do you meet with other Americans to do that? Carl, I take some of this data as inaccurate. Well, yeah, it would appear so, wouldn't it? Do we just scrunch it up and throw it out the window, though, Andy? I mean, it all sounds very legit, doesn't it? And it's the OECD, you hear them quoted. But you're doubting it as well, Andy. Okay, so you're not saying, oh, that's interesting, Portuguese people saying that. You're just thinking, there's no way Portuguese people would say that. I've just started to get curious about crypto. So a crypto curious there. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Coinbase, Bian, would you agree? Coinbase is a good place to start and have a little bit of a tinker, or even Revolut, actually, just to see how it all works. I think there's a lot of cultural difference in the way people respond to questionnaires. Brits never give high scores, for example. They don't, do they? Unless it's how great are British people? 10.
They're a bit cautious, aren't they? I mean, I used to work as a trainer, and so
what, like a shoe?
Yeah, I used to work as a shoe. Yeah, of course I got it. I used to work as a shoe, and very regularly I used to ask people how they thought of me as a shoe.
Stan Smith or
and yeah, it's interesting, like finding out how people
3 stripes.
They tend to go for British people tend to sort of like go for 7 or 8 because they don't want to give you like 10 out of 10.
They give you a little bit of work to do, don't they?
Yeah,
like area for improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Although when I've done training, I did rank quite highly. Which you have to be careful saying that. I'm not sure which Americans they surveyed, but the numbers seem quite off to my mind. See, we don't believe it, do we? We just don't believe it. And it's
how come?
Good evening, Jeff. By the way,
how come Jeff's got a little squiggle next to his name?
He is a YouTube member. That is because Jeff is a member.
Oh,
and a subscriber to the YouTube channel, for which you're very grateful.
Oh,
yes, thank you,
that kind of gives you a bit more. Like
kudos.
Yeah,
kudos.
It makes you look like a better
person,
a better class of audience.
Yeah, it's true. It's scientifically proven fact that he's a better person for being a YouTube member. Gibson, check it. I'm only kidding everybody else.
Yeah, we don't really mean it.
But it'd be great if you
became
very
members. Grateful for your attention.
We are
tonight. It's lovely.
Gibson checking in. Good evening, John. How are you, Bian? I wouldn't mind more manly man friends for sure.
Funny thing is, when I heard him talking about cells last night, it didn't sound very manly.
Oh, she's back, everybody. She's back.
But I it's mainly because I didn't understand it.
Yes. Oh, okay. And look at this. You see, Don Murphy. He's not giving me 10 out of 10 here. He's pointing out my faults, isn't he?
That's good. I mean, that's the whole purpose of asking for opinions, isn't it? And asking for feedback. I mean, that's how you improve. No. I think it's a great way. Thank you, Don.
For
believing
Don.
in excellence and wanting it. I like that.
I didn't work as a trainer. Neither a Nike or an Adidas trainer. Have I milked that joke enough now? I just
it's dead in the water, Carl. You're a really funny man, but that is not
That's
funny.
not one of
That's
my
just
best.
cheesy. Stop the cheese. It's like gone after the watershed. You can be a bit naughty.
Okay.
Although you're not really
that's too
that
much
naughty.
of a dad joke.
Yeah,
I
it's a
used to
massive
work as a
dad
trainer.
joke. It's a terrible dad joke. Do you want me to go? I should
No,
probably go.
no, don't. Please don't go. Is that joke upset you that much? You're threatening to walk
It's
out
just embarrassing.
like Piers Morgan.
It's just a bit embarrassing.
Oh, come on, it's not
You
that
tell
bad.
some great jokes, but don't
No.
be cheesy.
I must defend my joke there. I used to work as a trainer. Lace up or Velcro?
Oh, stop it.
Okay.
Yeah, someone's even saying exactly,
Discord.
Louisa. Now, is that because they're agreeing with me about the dad joke,
I doubt it.
the cheese, or the feedback?
Room for growth. Room for growth. Don. Okay, I can explain. Let me go back to Don's comment because
Okay.
that is it's an important one. You've moved me on. Okay, so I can explain. On your weekly show, the banner on the introduction still says 9 a.m. Now, you among the
I'll change it
first
for you now, actually.
Where does it say? What do you mean? No. This is on the video intro. It does say 9 a.m. He's quite right. He's eagle-eyed, this old Dom. Now, something's going to happen on Monday morning. There's going to be a new intro sequence, which will not say 9 a.m. And then at 9 a.m., I will play that sequence. You know, the one you love? The one we love. But there's going to be a shake-up on Monday. It's a bit like the Portuguese government come next February. We're going to have a different type of intro. We're going to do news and weather for the first half hour. This is you're hearing the news first now. I don't think even Mrs. M knows this. But at 8, did you know about this?
Yeah, because I recorded the jingle for you.
Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't know about this. All right.
At 1 a.m. this morning.
I live in the moment. I don't remember everything. 1 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
That's good of you. That's very sweet of you. Okay, so 8:30 on Monday, Portugal news and weather. Still lots of community shenanigans at 9 when the 9 a.m. thing comes on at the right time. So thank you for that little observation there, Don. I'm on it. Okay, Discord. Now there's an interesting thing. How many of you watch Discord and should we stream to it? That's interesting, Andy. Is that working for you? Do people? What are the advantages of Discord? I am looking forward to finding out more about that. And yes, we don't stream to Facebook anymore. I think it's a waste of time. It's just like we work for Facebook for nothing in their sweatshop of live streaming, only so they can sell more advertising around you. I'm not doing that anymore. So for most Portuguese, daily life is a struggle, says João F. Going back to the OECD thing now, but we've been around for a long time, gone through many critical periods in our history, and almost always with great resilience. Yes, and I think it's a habit, isn't it, João? And what I would like to say about that is that I think there's a kind of responsibility for expats to have a tide that everyone rises with. And I know Portuguese people work really hard, and I know you're very resilient. But it's like, oh, come on, you need a break. You need things to improve for the greater good of the whole country, so that expats aren't just coming here for that differential and that difference. We know when they get more bang for buck. The Portuguese people themselves need to be enjoying this lifestyle as well, not just watching expats do that. So I think this is important, and I think if it is true what's being said with the OECD thing, something needs to change. And it shouldn't be a place where other people come to take advantage of the differential, but actually come enjoy the quality of life and contribute to it being a better quality of life for everybody, especially the blooming Portuguese people who make it possible in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely agree. I mean, like in the last couple of days, we rallied around, got our work done, and yesterday went for a lovely drive to
Porto de Mos.
That's right.
What a place! What a place!
And it's beautiful. The drive was beautiful. Just gorgeous countryside. It's just wonderful, and you've got these amazing parks that are really well serviced, immaculate as well. And then today, like I said, right at the start, we went to the beach. It was a really lovely day, and it doesn't seem to matter where you go. Portugal's got it all. It would be lovely if everybody could enjoy it in the same way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's really lovely.
Yes. Okay. I'm just copying that link now. Here's a way for Portuguese people possibly to create greater wealth. I mean, be it at the heart of. I mean, it's a great start that the Portuguese government don't yet tax capital gains on crypto. Hopefully more Portuguese people are taking advantage of that as well. There's the Signal group for Bian and anyone else who wants to join it. And I think I have to approve you or somebody else in the group does. So stand by for that. Mac 007, silver, gold, commodities, crypto, hard assets, ditch the crook banks, then give back. Yes. So let's make hit loads of money and put it about in the local community. You know, we wanted to buy some books and pencils and stuff. First thought, get to Blooming Continente Modelo. I don't even know if that's a Portuguese owned firm. But we went to a beautiful papeteria, I think they call it, a bookstore. And we spent the money in there, in a shop that's been open for 45 years, I noticed. Lovely couple.
And that's what we spent on paper and pens.
Yes, we spent a lot of money on paper and pens for the kids, the homeschooling kit. But I was so delighted to spend that money in there. So I think that's what we got to do. Us expats coming here, enjoying the quality of life, give back. Make sure the money you're spending, if possible, is going into Portuguese pockets of people, not of corporations. Okay, Carl, remember, this is how they're evaluating themselves, right? Americans often wear rose-colored glasses. Other Portuguese. Yeah, I think that's true, Nubia.
That's funny because the Brits would probably also be kind of skeptical about themselves and their quality of life.
Yeah. Yes, it's true, and I think that's a good point, Nubian. I think the Portuguese people are very reserved in that way and possibly critical,
and maybe don't like to boast or brag.
Yeah. So not only is the Portuguese
maybe a bit humble
side off
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Not only is the Portuguese side off, the American survey is off as well, as far as Carlos and Lisa. So we don't think much of this survey, do we? But it still raises a good point, I think, and the point that we, as expats, enjoying the quality of life here, it's really important to have this tide rise for the whole country, not just the people who are coming as expats. Amazing to see you both again, Andy.
Thank you.
Welcome. Look at this, isn't that nice?
That's really lovely.
No,
really nice.
I'm welcome. Andy, I'm only kidding about poaching. I want to know about Discord. When and where is the man cave these days? Sorry, you can't tell you that. It's like the Fight Club.
I need to say I was only joking about the man club. I mean, obviously it's not for me anyway.
She wasn't. Yeah, it's like Yorkie bars.
I was thinking of writing, something naughty from Carl because I was watching it from his.
We try and
YouTube
do that
profile.
for each other, don't we? Yeah. I love doing that
and causing a bit of mischief, but I held back.
Well, we've done some howlers with that sort of stuff, haven't we? Lovely to see Louisa back. There you go.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Sounds like the sound of that, Mac. Oh, the giving back after. That's Mac giving back after making a big old sack of money. Joined the man cave for the first time last night and was a great time with you guys, says Raphael. Not your average globetrotter. It's like kind of Yogi Bear feel to that, isn't it? Carl, Coinbase is not a bad place to start, especially when you want to comply to regulations. Okay. That is a positive comment, isn't it? Glad to see you back in the chair, Mrs. M. You two are like the Ashford and Simpson of YouTube. Well, let's hope it stays.
Did
free.
They argue a lot? Yes. I mean,
See
funny enough, we were listening to Ashford and Simpson today. So
I discovered today, and I sent you a message, didn't I, Chris, to say one of my favorite all-time records. And there are people from the West Coast of America, from California, and one of my favorite tunes of all time, because I love Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, and I believe that they loved each other as well. It's such a kind of romantic idea to think that those two are looking into each other's eyes and loving each other while singing that song, California Soul. Okay, I'm thinking, I love this song. I really do. It brings a warmth to my heart and a tear to my eye pretty much every time I hear it. With all the other tunes I was listening to, I was nearly finished, but California Soul, looked it up. Who wrote it? Ashford and Simpson. It's incredible. The touch they've had on so many incredible records over the years. Always great to see you, and very refreshing. That's, I think, to you, Mrs. M. He sees a lot of me. So we have learned to go humbly about life. Okay, so more about the Portuguese.
So that was what I was saying.
Go on.
Humble.
Do you want to read this one?
Okay. And I want to say, Joelle, thanks for chipping in and giving us your view, because it's all very well and good for us expats to be talking about it, but we really do need, we're talking about what it's like to be Portuguese and understand the culture. So thank you. So we've learnt to go humbly about life and always hope for the best. All this also makes Portuguese people not to usually choose political extremes. Moderation is very much present in our minds. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Thank you.
Not blowing their own trumpets in this survey.
Well, I mean, that's the funny
at all.
thing. I mean, everywhere we go, like, you know, we have lots of little day trips out and stuff. And like often we find these places and there's no advertising for them. It's like, it's a miracle that you find all these little treasures. Now, in any other country, there'd be like banners and hoardings and all sorts of things saying, come to this place, come to that place. But in Portugal, they're really kind of laid back about it. Like, what was that amazing museum we used to go to, Carl, in when we were up living
The Viagra one.
The one with wine.
Oh, the underground.
I mean, there's amazing
the
underground museum.
The Alianza. The Alianza.
Yeah,
Underground
incredible
museum.
museum. And you wouldn't even know it was there. You could like drive past it almost.
Yeah, it's so true. Understatement. I mean, that is it's certainly one of the most used words I have for Portuguese culture.
I would say down to earth.
Yeah.
Really down to earth.
Yeah,
really grounded. Yes. I love that very much.
Oh, thanks for all the pictures that are coming in. Wendy, that's fantastic. And Susan, I think you sent some pictures as well. The Clark Gable, he has dimples too. So you, my dimples have been released by this.
They are actually my favorite thing about Carl. I mean, obviously, you know, I love all sorts of aspects of him, but I absolutely adore his dimples. When I first met him in the flesh, that was the first thing I noticed about him was his dimples.
And I just had a stubble, didn't I, rather than a beard? Yeah. I was shocked when you said the other day, it's like I'd given up. The beard has come on in it. Do you think it is a sign of like giving up, having a beard?
No.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to check with you. Check with you live on air here in front of everybody else. I have pictures to share, I think, of Porto de Mos, which I'd like to do. And we might do that, I think, while we're sharing pictures of playing the songs or a song of Warren's here, who's here this evening, because Warren is an absolute legend among us here with your incredible compositions, Warren. Whilst the song's on, I'm thinking, what do we do? So I could keep uploading pictures of Porto de Mos, which is slightly incongruous because none of the songs are about Porto de Mos, but there's definitely a beautiful Portuguese feel to them. So let's do Les's poem and let's do Warren's tune, and you're going to pick one of the three songs in just a moment to do that. But we've got some catching up to do, I think, in the comments before.
Yeah,
we go
there's loads.
Go on.
Vienna and Munich. I'm not sure what that refers to.
That's where they are, I think.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And we've got a square eyes exactly, Louisa. I'm not entirely sure what that's referring to.
But you'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. Z Trader. Sorry.
Z Trader.
Oh, Z Trader.
Z Trader.
Is this a French person?
They are Z Trader.
If you're young, want to work hard and make money, America is good, but not for older people. Don't hire anyone over 50 years. You're out of luck there, aren't you? My good friend, Rugby Colin, my advice on crypto is to open a demo account and trade it on that. And until you see how the market moves, treat it as real money. I think doing things in a test environment is a great idea and make a game out of it. I think it's brilliant. I actually did an astrological study for somebody who, in fact, for a few people, actually. I had a monthly astrological customer who had me looking at different assets that she had and giving her advice on when she might want to move on them and hold out and whatnot. And I'm not obviously a financial trader.
Hodl.
But astrology bears out with it, funnily enough. There are some really compelling patterns according to the incorporation date, like the date of the first trade. When did it happen? And you can tell a lot from an asset there. Little side.
Carry on. I'm just downloading some lovely pics.
Jeannie is saying, I will rate a 10 out of 10 when it's worth it because they under-evaluate us at work to keep wages low. True story. Yes. Yeah, people do. They use it like a beating stick. I've typically worked in an HR and training environment, learning and development environment when I work for corporates. And I know that is exactly what happens. It's off. It's really off.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't work for them anymore. Deagle is saying, will political parties not knock door canvas in Portugal, or is it more online? Good chance an island politics might collapse due to Brexit protocol, Irish Sea border with UK.
They had motorcades, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean,
Very,
one of the
very
things
busy.
I've noticed about in Portugal, wherever we've been, they've had motorcades and like loudspeakers, and people are very proud driving around. In fact, when we moved into our new home, it was just before some voting taking place, and our neighbour,
Locals. Yeah, our neighbour.
our neighbour, I don't know what our neighbour does yet because we've not really had a chance to talk to him, but our neighbour is obviously heavily involved in their party, and we had like a big sort of
He's a trailer, wasn't it? And
a big old
stand on the
trailer for
back
his
of it.
party.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, they were just driving around for a good week, but we didn't have any door knockers.
No knockers that week.
No. Jeannie's saying, LOL, liked the joke, but I live with a dad joke machine. Yeah, me too.
Well, I think 100% approval rating so far of the joke. Thank you.
The funny thing is, I mean, obviously dad jokes go on all day long for us because we've got 3 kids, and you know, our eldest is 10, and I mean, you know, when they get to about 3 or 4 and they start to get a sense of humor and they start telling jokes that make no sense. Well, our 10-year-old now is making jokes. My best material. Our 10-year-old is now actually like telling jokes and making jokes, constructing jokes that actually do make sense. But our 5-year-old isn't. And so we have a lot of dad joke things. And I just would like a bit of grown up.
Time. Sorry.
Yes, okay. Deagle, I think 12 governments across Europe, very unstable with possible elections looming. Most probably. Amit is saying survey responses depend on the respondent's context. The impact of polarization is that Americans rate their lives within their own cultural spheres, not on a national level. That's interesting, actually, because I've got customers all over the US coming from different states, and their personalities or their expectations in life seem very, very different. In fact, like when because I'm a very curious person, when I was hearing about how they were experiencing the what's been called the pandemic, their experiences have all been very, very different according to where they are. So it's been fascinating. Jim, Louisa, what kind of training did you do? NLP, etc. Started off doing banking and insurance training, and then trained as a hypnotherapist and NLP coach. And was doing communication, presentation skills, and then wrote my own material and put subliminals in, and then went freelance, and it was great fun. I loved it, and I still do it. I'm still doing some of it now, actually. Funnily enough,
she's very good.
Yeah, I mean, tonight when we finish this, I've got to actually write a hypnotic script for somebody.
It's the only time you can get any peace, right?
Yeah. So I won't be recording it tonight, but I'm going to be writing the script.
That's we both do that, don't we? And that reminds me, another request to voice over a Russian book today. And that's what we have to do. We have to stay up late at night because we haven't got a sound studio really. We've just got like a back room that we're in. And we just have to stay up late at night and record while everyone's asleep.
And hope that all the neighbourhood dogs don't get startled by a stray cat.
Yes, which happens as well, of course.
Yeah. Yes, so that's my answer to that. I hope that answers. And I also teach astrology and a little bit of kind of mindfulness, I guess. Don Murphy, Carl, what was that book I recommended during the book?
Oh, I don't know. What does he mean?
I have no idea. What do you mean by that, Dom?
The book
Don, sorry.
The book that he was recommending during the book.
Yeah, that's like a nested loop.
It is, yes. He's messing with me, isn't he?
He's messing with your mind.
He's messing with my mind now.
So moving on, Andrew Gilchrist, documentation across the nation. Oh my God, right. Carl has this. He has these little earworm type things. Yes,
that's one of Warren's tunes, though, and I don't know which number it's on. So we will.
Carl has this habit of having these kind of weird sayings. He's a really noisy person, and whenever he says he hears something that ends in Asian, he goes for the nation, and it's just like this habit, and he's had it for about 10 years. And then last year, me and the kids ganged up on him and said every time he said every time I hear something that rhymes with Asian, I'm going to say for the nation.
For the nation.
And so when he was in the supermarket, we set up a playlist. It's got so many songs.
It's a bit of an in-joke,
it's got like
isn't it?
Imagination by Billy Sam.
You could have had to be there, really, I think.
It's got so many. I will post a link to that playlist.
You can have a look at this thing, the software, and see what the 3 sound pads are set up as, because that's
Yeah.
what we'll treat that as a request and we'll go for documentation.
I tell you what, and when we leave this show tonight, I'm going to play something from our For the Nation playlist, and Carl.
No, you can't. You'll get
Carl
us
will
kicked
do
off
it.
YouTube.
Oh.
It doesn't work. Thank goodness. So what do these 3 say when you open up?
Okay.
No, don't press it. When you look at it on the software.
On the software.
Yeah, when you
on
click on
Tascam.
honor, yeah. What does it say? It should
Obrigado, obrigada.
Yeah.
Is the first one.
Yeah.
Documentation is the third. The
Then
D7 documentation.
That's going to be our
number 3.
Our boy in a minute. Then,
Okay.
yeah. So you've got that, Andy. Documentation coming up for you
across the nation.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mrs. M, the moderating mum. I sent pics to WhatsApp.
Here they are. Okay, let's just put those up. Thank you very much for these, Susan.
The moderating mum. She sounds quite good. It sounds like a really good channel name.
The moderating mum.
Although I'm not very moderate,
all sorts
but
of things. Yeah.
Andrew Gilchrist. I've installed.
Hold on,
Discord.
we're going back to Susan's pictures.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there we go. Look, that's the tash. It's kind of, it's going to take a lot of. You might have to get good on it with a cutthroat and trim that bad boy.
There's no way I can do that.
But he was a handsome devil, wasn't he? And I can say to you, quite frankly, my dear, I do not give a damn.
He absolutely doesn't give a damn about
what
you.
Do you think that phrase would come easily to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't even say it because that's how little of a damn you do.
Okay. Too much information for the nation. Okay. So there's another one from Susan. Let me just see what you said with that. Thank you so much, Susan. Really appreciate it. My meditative spot in Finland. Mantra, Portugal or bust. That's fantastic, isn't it? So let's just take the comment off there because I want to see that in its full glory. Where are we? Can you take that comment off there? Because you're in a different part to me. That's beautiful.
Should we take us off as well?
Yeah, let's just give that its full. I'll take the ticker tape off. Can we take ourselves off or not? Without muting.
Can we not?
Hold on.
That didn't really work, did it?
Did it not work?
Can we do that?
No, I think we're going to have to go with the meditative spot with us ruining it there. But sorry about that.
What we actually need to do is to load it up properly ahead of time.
This is where you sit somewhere in Portugal, possibly meditating like that, and then you hear.
Where is that?
This is in Finland, I think, and you hear footsteps behind you. You're right. What you doing there?
Because Brummies get everywhere.
Meditation? Oh, I like meditation. Can I sit down with you and talk about meditation for a minute? That's what happens there. Okay.
I love it.
Where are we? Don't have Facebook. Is that right? In terms of comments, don't have Facebook. We'll go where the expats go because I want to build some friendships before we emigrate. You might not need to. You might. I mean, there are some great groups on Facebook for expats. It's true. What have you done to yourself? I know, Joelle. And other. What's going to be happening is actually I can take that picture off now, can't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you some others of moustaches. So that might be one. And this might be another. That's Andy Gilchrist's suggestion tonight. I've got the head for it.
You are actually very hairy, so
yeah,
I think with time you could do that. But
it's like an afro moustache, though, isn't it? There's a lot going on there.
I don't think you have the persistence to do that.
Or the hairspray. I mean,
no, we're quite natural couple, aren't we? So I don't think
I haven't got the lacquer for it. Okay.
Also, it might get in the way of the mic. You'll get the sound
brushing
of the
against. Yeah, that could be very annoying.
Hair brushing against the
static
mic.
shocks. Now, here's a beauty. This is from
nice.
Wendy. Beautiful Wendy. Thank you so much for this. Naples. It's your Naples in Florida, I believe. So thank you very much, Wendy. Appreciate that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Lovely to see that on the screen. And is that happening right now? That's superb. Okay. Let's go through these comments. Thank you so much.
I just made the background black, so it looks better with the photos.
It does. You're right. She's right, and that's the last photo. Okay. For now, anyway. For now, and there's a lot of downloading going on. I'm going to give you a Porta de Mos slideshow. Most incredible castle we went up to yesterday. Yes, so that's what I've done to myself, Joao F. Where are we in the comments here?
I'm actually fancying a bit of a Magnum PI look, Carl. Let's see if I can get a photo.
A nice floppy one. Yes, and there comes a time in every woman's life where she prefers a floppy one, I suspect. Americans do not have saudade like the Portuguese do. That's interesting, isn't it? I don't think they do. And they go. So, what's the deal? What's the deal with Discord? Is it good, Andy? Agreed
I've enjoyed
with the
it.
Give Back project. Yes, Jeannie. Let's do that. I mean, whether it's formal or informal, that's a great sentiment, isn't it? Make a stack and give some back here in Portugal. Carl, please don't get me wrong. All I've said also means that we have learned how to enjoy life by giving importance to lots of other things rather than money. It's a question of survival. So true, Joao. Thank you so much for your excellent comments tonight. I've never been surveyed or polled, nor has anyone I know. Who do they survey? Good point. Bloody right. Give back question. Where am I needed and how can I serve?
Sorry,
True.
this is what I think.
Oh my word. Okay. Well, there's some material to go.
A bit of Tom Selleck. What do you think, guys? Do you think he should do a Tom?
A slug, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big old slug.
I mean, do you want that coming at you?
Well, I mean, I kind of did anyway, because I mean, you had the beard around it as well.
Okay.
But
Well, talking of tashes, and then if we extend that to gold mankinis, Andrew is asking what happened about the lady cave. Nothing is what happened about the lady cave, and we knew that would happen, didn't we, Andy?
What's that?
There was talk about the women having their own group, and I was going to open it. I was going to open the lady cave, so to speak, with a gold mankini on, and I didn't have to in the end because I didn't get their act together. And I think the time limit has gone now. I'm 6 months to a year away from my move, hoping to be accepted in and supporting the local community. Fantastic, Linda D. I'm sure you will be with it. Even asking a question like that shows I think you're a community
Linda, where are you
person.
coming from?
Yes, Linda D.
Yeah, let us know. Where are you moving from and where are you hoping to move to?
From Greece, the movie, isn't it? I'm Linda D. Oh, no.
That's Sandra.
That's Sandra D. Isn't it? But of course, money's not everything, but it surely helps. Yes, it's better to be crying inside a car than at the bus stop, isn't it? I think it's fair to say. Jeff, you need to tune in Friday, 10 o'clock. Okay, yes. Discord, YouTube, or Facebook for the Man Cave. And Joe Diaz is here. Hello from California.
Hey, Joe.
The aforementioned, where my favorite song comes from, California Soul. They added that loving feeling. The lyrics, seriously, folks, Ashford and Simpson made some beautiful lyrics writing that. So it's poetry. And we're going to come to some poetry. Seasons, Les, our 90-year-old poet laureate of the Silver Coast. Don't believe those scores at all. Most of all my friends over in Portugal got better quality of life than us here in the UK. Fair play, Abel.
Yeah.
Would the marketing spoil the secret places? It can happen, can't it?
Yeah.
It can. Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, I wouldn't. I completely forgive somewhere, for wanting to market itself. For wanting to be included or
bit of a
mixed
mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want people to come, and then you think maybe that's enough now.
Yeah.
They're ruining the place. Jeff, you're welcome anytime. Have that said, there's a lot of capacity in Portugal. I'm sure it gets busy in the busiest of places, but the population density here is extraordinary. And it's in a country of 10 million people. Gene, I also wonder when they claim our country is the happiest in the world, is that the United States or Finland? Is Finland claimed
Do you
to be the
actually know
happiest?
that Auntie is from Finland, or have you just made that up?
I didn't make it up. I might be mistaken. Auntie will tell us.
Please tell us more.
I like that, Jim. We could use the skills we have and offer our expertise to help others. Well, let's do it. Absolutely. We've got a forum. We've got a great organization. We've got a great community. We can be doing this, like a chat room and stuff. What's that? Is that the man cave, basically, or the lady cave? Let us see if we can do better in the future. Many Europeans, and not only, I am sad to say, think that we already have had too many breaks. At least that is what I sense, but maybe I'm wrong. Too many breaks as in from the EU. I mean, they're not really breaks, are they? They're just sort of political deals, aren't they? I'm thinking of social breaks of like people to people, not really mediated by the government necessarily. I think my boomer self has actually got the Signal Group request for going to Expat Crypto Network in Portugal. Well, that's right, isn't it? Your boomer self. Are you saying you're not good with technology because you're a boomer or something like that, Bian? But see what happens. Click on it and see what happens. And Pete Julien is here.
Hello, Anne.
Noit a todos. We're only here for another 10 minutes or so, aren't we? It's a big country. That brings on a song as well. However,
I immediately went to that song.
yes, those who think the eponymous a big country. However, those who think we are undeserving a break tend to forget that the Portuguese are always willing to share what they have, no matter how poor they may. But again,
Yeah,
that is our experience, isn't it?
yes. One of our friends said Portugal is like the one place where you can leave your like your house unlocked and come back and find a bag of oranges
That's
or a bag
right.
of figs.
Not only can you leave your back door open, you come back and find somebody has left some fruit for you.
And we had a birthday celebration this week, and like our son got a phone, which lots of people would be like, "What? He's got technology," but
Not me.
He left it on the car seat and
On the day we
on
bought
an
it.
unlocked car with our windows open, and we like imported a mod
So if anybody wants a phone, I'll give you our registration number.
We had our car like the windows down, unlocked, just left
I
it
just
all.
leave it open now.
Yeah.
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 Z Trader. I trade oil, gold, silver, olive oil, or petroleum. Gold, silver, never crypto.
Or CBD.
Think, yes, indeed. That's the big one for the future, isn't it? Think gold, and that's another thing Portugal could be so good at is the CBD oil. If it's not already, actually. Think gold bottomed this week. Let's see. Gold bottom. There's another Bond movie. So whoever you are, you will be welcome here. That's beautiful, Joao. Thank you so much for that. If you need help setting up a studio, let me know. We're saving egg boxes as we speak. Mrs. M, there you go. Look. Can you read that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was actually
knock, Mrs. M.
Okay, knock. Mrs. M, LOL. Our youngest found knock jokes first. The first being boo-hoo, why are you crying? Her every punchline became, why are you crying? Regardless of the joke she was telling. That is just so much like children. They just don't get it at all. I
just love it. They have the kind of, what is it? The words aren't there and the meaning's not there, but the delivery's there, isn't it?
Yeah, the delivery
because the cow did a poo.
Yeah,
that's the punchline.
Yeah, I mean that's what a 5-year-old's like at the moment.
To every joke,
and she laughs her head off.
Yes,
like,
so do
like
I.
Drain,
so do I. To be fair, strange when our I think I've influenced it some way. Strange when our three children started asking why, what's this, how do you know? Yeah, just run and hide. But our granddaughter Olivia asked today, where is the man in the TV? Oh, nanny. It started with Olivia. That's fantastic. What did you say, more to the point, though? Mars had water because humans used to live there and messed it up so badly that an escape pod was sent to Earth with only Adam and Eve, and it turned out to be the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Andy, I was talking about wisdom earlier on. He's nailed it there, isn't he? He's come up with the ultimate theory.
Yeah, he's come up with a theory, yeah.
I said ultimate theory. I think he's nailed it, frankly, there.
Do you?
Yes, I do. Perfect, Andy. Well done. Joao F. One person on YouTube with the same name plays it on saxophone, just like a god.
I do like some aspects of that, Andrew, for sure.
You're dwelling on that, aren't you?
No, I like to think things through. I like to.
Was it the Adam and
Eve
bit?
Well,
don't go there. DJ Eve.
And also the dinosaurs. I mean.
Oh no, Andy! Now look what you've done. Evening all. When you leave, the audio leaves too. That's right. That's right. Is that? It's not a lyric from California Soul, is it? Banks can't keep suppressing the gold price. Z-Trade. True. This is what we understand, isn't it? It's suppressed. Tammy Terrell, when I hear her sing, it sends shivers down my spine. And she's so beautiful. Taken too soon, right? I feel as if she's singing directly to me and only me. Oh, stop it, Chris.
That's so lovely.
You're getting me going here.
We actually named our daughter Minnie after Minnie Riperton.
Yes, that's right.
So many people think it's Minnie Mouse, but...
Or Minnie Driver.
Yeah, it's not Minnie Driver. It's Minnie Riperton.
Yeah, I like...
And not because of Loving You, the most... common
Inside Love,
like it's Inside Love. I love that song.
She seems again taken too soon. Seems like such a beautiful woman. I like you feel that Tammy and Marvin truly loved each other. When you see those pictures, Chris, it's true. I won't believe anything else. Coming to Portugal around March, Carlos and Lisa, and we'll try to find a place to rent. Problem is there are too many options with cooler weather. True. true. Again, we maybe help on the forum with a little bit of local tip there. My Discord name is General Weaponry. That sounds like a Discord gamer kind of name, doesn't it? There from his what's that? Well, Fortnite days or something like that. Grow a Hall and Oats tash.
Oh, there you go. Let me just look that up.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
I do like a bit of Hall and Oats.
It's the little fella, isn't it, of the Hall and Oats, I think, who's got the tash. It's almost tomorrow, everybody. We're going to go out with some poetry and a song and a slideshow. Good evening from Lee. Lee! I've done some phone surveys, mainly on politics, as Warren.
It's actually Borat.
Ding, 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 ding.
Do like a bit of Hall and Oats.
Ding, 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 ding. Is that Lionel Richie in the middle as well? What's going on here? And Prince, what? There's a little bit of a mix-up, mash-up.
Okay,
it's a tash-up. It's a mash-up, tash-up going on.
I know what I need to do. A search on...
What? Be careful when searching with anything to do with hair. I think. All right, we'll come back to tashes.
Yacht rock
tashes.
Moustache pictures. There you go.
Yes, okay, but I'm not going to share it until you've made sure there is nothing. That's rocking the yacht that shouldn't be.
What's that guy called?
Which one?
Michael.
Hollywood Steve.
Michael
McDonald.
There we go. That's
Peg. Would Carl be Tom Selleck or John Hillerman? Well, who's that? Is he Tom's having a go again, I think. What is Signal?
Michael what?
Michael McDonald.
Oh, yeah.
My sincere apologies for having written so much. Didn't want to monopolize. Not at all, Joao. Your input has been really, really beautiful and really welcome tonight. Signal is an alternative to Telegram and WhatsApp there, Andrew. Always seconding me there is Jeannie Joao F. Always appreciate your conversation. Absolutely. Mark Doe is here. Evening, Carl and Mrs. M. Just seen you live. You bring all the boys to the yard, Mrs. M. Man's desire.
Maybe not
Mars
this.
Is bizarre. That's so true.
I don't actually want this tash.
Freddie.
Yeah.
He's not a yacht rocker, is he?
No. I changed my search because there wasn't much coming up on the yacht
it's
rock
a bit specialist though,
genre.
You can actually buy the moustache looking at that.
Yes, I think you can.
Stick it on. I'm going to grow one. Instead of grow some, I'm going to grow one. Egg cartons can only go so far. You've got to break eggs to make a studio, I suppose. Who is this now? Seriously, don't just be putting up random searches.
Oh, sorry, it's still showing, isn't it?
Yes, it is still
What
showing.
I really like is what's his name? Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Is that him playing that
Anchorman?
Yes, Anchorman.
That's quite a big old slug, isn't it?
Yes,
on,
that is
on Ron
Burgundy's face.
Yeah, Ron Burgundy tash is quite a good one to go for.
Yeah.
Portugal or Channel Islands, maybe both. Channel Islands in summer or autumn Portugal in winter and spring, says DJ. Jersey's nice. I don't know the others. I've been to Jersey, quite liked it. Prefer Portugal, I have to say. And I know our good mate moved from Jersey to Portugal. But that's because he fell in love with a Portuguese girl, I think.
There you go. That's the
a lot
tash.
of Portuguese people in the Channel Islands. Is that the one we're going to go with?
That's the tash for you, Carl.
Loud noises! Yes, okay. Ron Burgundy, I suppose, is not a bad comparison.
He's an anchor man, isn't he?
What?
An anchor man.
Yes, okay. Know about the audio and you guys leaving was when you guys were showing the pictures. Yes, yeah, I realise that now. Raphael, when she goes, I can't speak. Kind of. That's what happened. Deagle. Told Olivia he goes to bed in his house, but not till after 8 o'clock when Mr. Moon comes out.
Oh my word!
Well, that's as good an answer as any. Well done, Deagle. Mini Cooper would have been done. If our name was Cooper, we wouldn't have done that, would we?
The hilarious thing is, she's not a small child. She's actually quite big. She's the biggest of all three babies, and she's a good 3 clothes sizes bigger than her age.
Not very mini.
There's nothing mini about her.
Tell the gold guy to buy Ethereum instead. Working on so many levels tonight. It's like a pantomime, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. Andrew's theory would explain who Adam and Eve's kids married, though.
Exactly. I mean that's where Andrew's theory goes wrong.
See, sorry about that, Andrew. I was a big fan. but it has been discredited now by Solana. Another tip. We are not giving.
But I mean, it's the whole chicken and the egg. Like, where did Adam and Eve come from in the first place?
From chickens. No. Auntie, I am not that saxophone player for sure. Okay, just to clear that up. Also good. There's I think all the crypto tips are happening now. I can't go for that. No can do. I am not going to go for that, Tash. I think it is going to be the Ron Burgundy. Thanks to the Munsons and everyone else. Great evening. Cheers, Don. I think
Thanks
we're
for
winding
joining
down. We
us.
like the poem and to the song.
Okay.
Obrigado, Munsons and everyone. No, not yet. But I can't. I don't.
You shouldn't let me have this.
No,
You shouldn't let
unlike
me have this
unlike
keypad.
you, I don't ignore people's comments. I don't leave them hanging or thwarted or unrepresented or silenced. Higgins in Magnum PI. Oh, it's the other fella. Okay, we've yet to see that, Tash.
I'll find it for you now.
Higgins in Magnum PI then. Okay. OECD, we know that at least 48% of the UK are not happy. We also know that after this week's shenanigans, even more of the UK public are not happy, says Chris. Yeah, Capricorn 12.
Oh, that's a good
I like
one.
Signal. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, so some friends won't chat there. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? More and more so. Carl, check your WhatsApp. Okay.
Check this out.
Checking my WhatsApp.
Can you see
Okay.
this?
All right.
Can you see this like very detailed little?
Tash.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Oh, William's here. Sunset on the north coast. Oh, this is beautiful as well. Thank you so much for this one. We can't go until we've shown this. So what are we doing? Is this safe to show?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are we looking at?
The cute little mantash that Higgins has got.
I don't think any man would like to be described as that. Oh, you've got a cute little mantash.
Probably
Doesn't
not.
sound manly, does it?
No.
Like, I like that big hairy slug you've got. That's what a man wants to hear.
Okay.
Look at that. Is what a man wants to hear. Oh, not. I
Okay.
like your little mantash.
Okay.
That's like what a teenager is, isn't it?
I
You bit, you know,
guess.
bum
Yeah.
fluff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have checked my WhatsApp, Andy, and because of that, I'm showing you this now. This. What do you think about this one, though? Is that for me? I've got the head for it. I haven't got the long. I've got a bald head.
You've
but
got
long
the
head. The eyebrows.
No, I was going to say you've got the
Blue steel.
Asian. You've got the Asian genes.
Yes.
Possibly necessary for that kind of look.
I'm trying to tilt my head in the same similar sort of one.
You're not.
Again,
you're
a
not
high
fierce.
maintenance.
You're not fierce enough for that.
No,
kind
I
of look.
can't give that. I can't.
I could probably
can't.
do that if I.
Yeah, you could do that. I
Right.
think I can't. Can't do it. Yes, need some wax on that. Not the first
some
time you've
wax on the
heard that.
tracks.
Not the first time you've heard that comment. That needs some wax on it. Teagle.
How very dare you?
Obrigado, boa noite. Great show this evening. Cheers, Teagle. Carl, how about a Hercule Poirot? I prefer the French rugby colin moustache.
The what?
Rugby colin.
Oh, right.
Related to Hercule Poirot, I think. Now I know who you remind me of. It's Phil Collins. Seriously, great musician, by the way. You can't hurry, love. Aliens. Okay. Oh, I see. Adam and Eve married the aliens. That's a theory you would, I think, subscribe to, Mrs. M.
What's that?
UK sucks. Well, okay. Thanks for another delightful evening, Mr. and Mrs. M. It's been a delight.
You can do this look.
Right
Hulk
back
Hogan.
at you. Okay.
You can totes do this one.
rocket.
Yeah, you could rock that one because you have actually done that.
And I've got the body for it.
You did. You did do that one year at Silhane in Devon.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
You did do that.
Okay. I also use Telegram, says Andy. Everyone's on all of these platforms now.
No, not everybody. Your
suppose that's the
profile
point
has
of
been deleted on Telegram because you don't use it.
Seriously? How'd you know that?
Because you come up in my
This person has been deleted.
Yes.
That's not very private.
if you don't don't use it.
That's against my privacy. That information.
No, but like when you join, I mean, like your stream gets deleted if you don't add anything to it. It goes.
Yeah.
I think you've been given like 6 months or something.
Yeah, what's wrong with WhatsApp and Facebook having all my data? Hey, you two, thanks for sharing your evening. Only tuned in 5 minutes ago, but you and the comments have already made me laugh. I'm so glad, DJ. That's what it's all about. Wax. Ah! I think that's what that says.
Yeah.
Okay. Poirot putting his little grey cells to work. Yeah, brother. The wise words of Hulk Hogan there. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate it. Lots of lovely and very funny comments. We've got a poem first, and then we'll play Warren on the old the documentation, not the reunification or the obrigado. We've got Les for you now. 90 years of age. Some of you very kindly sent him letters so that he got stamps from around the world, which he collects. He loved it. You thinking that?
Possibly.
I do think our writing skills are quite well matched, but I don't know. Then because you got to get the old Elizabethan rough collar as well, haven't you? Would you want to iron that? Or
Why
just,
me? Why would I have to iron that?
just being sexist? Okay, so
We don't even own an iron. We actually
we don't
borrowed
do
an
it.
iron from a friend.
Yes.
Just so that we could sort our curtain
And I
length
think
out.
that modern iron, which comes with some sort of aqualung, I mean, it's a bit over-engineered, quite frankly.
It's really good.
But that would destroy an Elizabethan heirloom, wouldn't it? If
the rough wouldn't stand for it.
If we've still got one of those in the family in the back of the wardrobe, I think it might be destroyed by that industrial iron that you borrowed to iron the curtains with. Okay, it's curtains for this show. And we're going to play you a poem now, Les. Might be a few comments between the poem and the video if there are things still left unsaid. But let me share this with you now. Lovely Les, 90 years of age. There wasn't a song this week, so he shared this poem. And these are the wise words of an elder right here from the Silver Coat.
Hello everybody, Les here again. I haven't got a song for you this week. Oh dear. But I got a poem instead. So I wrote this one and I read it out at the ladies' meeting, so a few of you may have heard it. But if you don't attend the ladies' meeting, then you will definitely won't have heard it. So I've written it, I've called it Seasons. Shades of night are falling fast. A chill is in the air. Autumn's here, winter soon, but we must not despair. In Portugal, the weather's better than many other places. Winter doesn't last too long. It leaves not many traces. Snow is a rarity, although it has been known. So keep a smile upon your face while folks back home can moan. Soon it will be Christmas. Carols fill the air. Children all excited, parents in despair. Then before you know it, spring is here again. Lots of little showers, sometimes heavy rain, followed by the swallows. What a lovely sight. Summer quickly follows, plenty of daylight. Soon another year has passed. We'll remark, where did it go? We're all 1 year older, but we don't want to know. Hope you liked it.
We blooming loved it, Les. Isn't he lovely?
That's
like your
so
granddad, isn't he?
beautiful.
He's such a legend, that man.
He's lovely.
He has to go now, does Joao F. Love seeing you both on the show. You're just wonderful. Oh, right back at you, Joao F.
Thank you so much.
I tell you what is wonderful. William's sunset this evening. Look at
wow.
that. Now that is beautiful, isn't it? Sunset on the north coast of Northern Ireland, I believe, this evening. That is so beautiful.
Yeah, that really
William,
is.
that lovely, just lingering there for a moment. And I think we can start the music, can't we? You want to press button 3? Thank you, William, for that. Thanks, everybody. Some pictures of Porta de Mos. Thank you all. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.
Documentation.
Oh, I muted my mic.
You muted your mic. That's what did it.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
So that silence you heard there, everybody. Should we do that again? Play it again. Play it again.
I'm so sorry. I saw that my mic wasn't muted, and so I muted it, and that's when I must have muted.
Let's try it now.
I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
Button 3.
Documentation and collation for access to my new nation. DD7 on a tight ration. Sometimes it's as slow as constellation. Ooh. One day I know Seth will come through. I'll get my QR code and come join you. And even Fido won't make me blue. It's documentation and correlation for access to my brand new nation. Access to my brand new nation. Ooh. Access to my brand new nation.
Lovely picture. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now.